time. It was something else. Good to see you. How was your long extended Thanksgiving weekend?
First off, you're right. Good to see you as well. Got the whole crew back.
Yeah.
Emily Taylor in the house. Kind of feels nice to be here. It was Thanksgiving was great. It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite holiday. What do I do? I just sit
Watch
there,
TV
I
and eat. It's pretty good.
Watch
and
TV.
Don't go to work.
And don't go to work. Now, granted, Lakers a couple games, but that was no problem. When they're winning games, I don't feel like I'm working
Just
anymore.
Skip into the arena.
I had you guys ever had one of these? Here I am. I like to think myself, Travis, as somebody that is a good citizen in society.
Okay.
I'd like to think of myself as somebody that pays my taxes on time.
Okay.
Maybe a little later
I was
than
say,
usual. I get an
you strike
extension.
me as an extension guy.
We get an extension.
Close enough.
Those are for business reasons. I like to think of somebody that doesn't cut corners and just tries to just go about my life.
Sure.
So I drove down to. You're gonna hate this story, but I'm gonna share it anyways. I drove down Thursday morning down to San Diego.
Okay. Early.
Thursday morning, 8-ish.
Okay.
8:15-ish, something like
Not
that.
bad.
So no traffic, by the way. Everybody was doing it Wednesday.
Yeah.
I kind of timed this thing out.
It's not bad.
Me and Lady Sliwa, we head down there. I had to drive back up at 4:30. So we're doing Thanksgiving at my mom's.
Okay.
I had to drive back up at 4:30 because her mom was also going to do Thanksgiving.
Oh, you had to double dip. I've done
double
that.
dip.
Yeah, that's a long
day.
That's a long day.
This is where it gets even worse.
Okay.
So I do the drive down. My mom had over 50 people at the house.
Big crew.
Big crew.
Yeah.
Lot going on there. My responsibility, make sure everybody's got drinks, make sure everybody's this. Just nothing crazy. No real
Did you
responsibility.
sit there and do nothing and let everyone else do everything? Because I got a little of that over the weekend.
You'd be proud of me if I had a head cam. And I'm very curious because I think I know where you're going with this. Because out of everything you and I caught up with this morning, that was one of my questions to you.
It was one of your first questions.
I don't know why, but
Well,
I
it's a good
thought
question.
about her. I thought about her.
Yeah, it was the right question.
So get down, do whatever I got to do down in San Diego. Now I'm driving back up.
So you've gone. Let me just see. So you've gone
Yeah.
from Pasadena to San Diego, from San Diego to like Hacienda Heights.
Hacienda
Heights,
Yeah.
and now we're headed where?
I don't want to say Pasadena to San Diego because it makes it Pasadena to El Cajon. I want to make sure that
it's past San Diego.
because when people
Gotta
say
go a little east.
when they say San Diego, they're thinking, "Oh wow, is Al's family from Point Loma?" No,
El Cajon.
from El Cajon.
Go
damn it.
Eagles.
Yeah, go Eagles.
That's right.
Okay, so do the thing. 4:30, drive back up.
Okay.
In the morning on Friday morning.
So where did you spend Thursday night?
Thursday night back in Pasadena.
Okay, so from Hacienda Heights back to Pasadena.
Pasadena.
So you round tripped it in a day.
This is where you're
Okay.
going to get upset. You're
All
going to
right.
get upset because
You tell me you went back to San Diego the next day. I'm not going to like this.
Oh my gosh.
Friday morning, I had to head back down to San Diego. I had to head back down to El Cajon, okay?
Wow.
For whatever reasons, I had to go back down to El Cajon.
Okay.
I'm driving, just sitting in my car, right? Got my
So
hands.
what time on Friday morning? What time are you on the road?
Same exact time.
Okay.
8:15. You got like an 8 to 8:30 sweet spot where you're not going to hit anything.
I'm with you.
You go 10, you're done. It's over.
Yeah.
Okay? So I got my hands on the 10 and 2 on the wheel, just enjoying my drive. Got a cup of coffee from Starbucks.
Sure. Nice way to start the day.
I'm in like Irvine area.
Okay.
Everything's fine. Everything's going smooth. Just driving down. Bro, to my right, there's a motorhome. Or a
Camper?
Yeah, one of those, like, just kind of those motorhome campers, whatever it is.
Being towed, or it's the
Just driving.
mobile type?
Yep, just driving.
Okay.
Right? Just driving along.
Okay.
To its right, there's a car. Just a regular car. And I'm just, again, not paying any attention. All of a sudden, I see them kind of swerve. I don't know what's
The
going
car
on.
or the camper?
Both.
Okay.
Both of them kind of swerve. I'm like, what the hell are these guys
How
doing?
close to you are the two cars? To you?
I'm gonna now go a little bit towards my left, right?
Okay,
so
sure.
carpool lane is over there, so I'm
Okay.
kind of at the end. I kind of start, a little bit. Have you ever seen a rolling tire on the freeway on its own, doing its own thing? You ever seen that before?
Oh, a tire came loose from another vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. No, I don't
Never
think
seen
so.
it before.
Yeah,
I
don't
have no
think so.
idea what's going on. The timing of everything working out perfect.
Do you have any idea where it came from?
No idea where it came from. Mostly because I'm kind of blocked view-wise, right?
And you're going, what, 75 miles an hour?
By 74. Just being a good citizen, right? Maybe even 67.
Sure.
So I'm driving. These two avoid whatever it is. This bad boy hits the right side of my car. The
Oh, the
passenger
tire
side.
does?
The tire. The tire is going like on its own. It's going opposite freeway. It's doing its own
It's
thing.
coming towards you?
It's coming towards me. Hits the passenger side of my bumper car.
The front end passenger side.
Front end passenger side. And then just moves over to the side and just keeps going down the freeway, the opposite side. Now it's like kind of at the shoulder. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? I didn't know what happened. I'm just literally have no idea what's happened. I'm just literally sitting there not paying any attention. Hits the car. It goes down that way. And I'm like, okay, I'm in Irvine. I got to get down to SD. We're going to keep going.
You didn't even stop.
Stopped at the rest stop. Do you know how far the rest stop's an hour?
I was going to say
45 minutes.
40 miles.
Let's
at
say,
least.
yeah, something like that. Stop there. The car is kind of, nothing's making any noise. Everything's kind of fine.
No
So
dragging.
There's a little noise.
Is
There's
the headlight caved in or a dent or anything?
So the car's not making any noise yet, okay? But that's because
the
I
biggest mistake
haven't
you made is probably stopping the car.
I haven't turned off the car yet. So the sensors and everything else, they haven't had a chance to like readjust.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you kept the computer on. I just kept the computer on. I go pull up to the rest stop. I get to the rest stop. And I pull up to the rest stop. I'm going to go use the restroom anyway. So like timing-wise, I'm like, all right, can I make it to there?
Yeah.
I would hear a little noise, like, you know, sometimes just...
Clunkety, clunkety, clunkety,
No,
clunk.
you'd be driving, and sometimes just the actual pavement, you got to go down a little.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a little bump. And every time I heard it, I was like, I feel like I think something's hitting the tire. I think something might hit the tire. I left it alone, okay? I get over there. The moment I get out the rest stop, or I exit, I start turning into one of the parking spots.
Oh, you had to make a real turn.
Had to make a real turn. And everybody just starts turning their head like, what the hell
Was it making a
is
terrible
that
noise?
It
Yeah.
sounded like I was at a metal shop or something.
Just
and
tearing metal?
I don't know what the hell was going on. So I park. I turn off the car. When I turn the car back on, every light you could think of, sensor this, my the front bumper, forget about it. It's done.
Toast.
It's done. Some wires kind of hang in.
No.
The light is just demolished.
Is
the
there
whole
any
thing.
fluids coming out?
No fluids coming out.
Okay.
But it's got some pretty decent damage. Okay.
Well, sure, you hit a tire going 70
I didn't hit a
miles.
tire. Tire hit
you.
me.
Fair enough. Fair
Okay?
point.
I
Yes.
didn't pick out the tire
You know, I
from
get you.
100 yards
You're
away
right.
and
You're
say,
right.
"You want to go heads up?"
You're right. The tire hit you going 70 miles an
Everybody
hour.
else was fine. Nobody else on the freeway had any issues. Everybody dodged it perfectly. I get the tire, so I end up as a whole. You know, I got to open up a claim. State
Did you
Farm,
get back
rental
on the
car.
road with the car making the noise?
What do you think I did?
Well, I'm assuming you got down to San Diego in the car
Yeah,
and made it.
made it. There was one area I was worried about.
Should you know what? Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
As you're going through all of this, all I'm thinking about is you should have waited to get that mirror fixed because you could have said it was part of the accident and folded it in to your insurance claim.
I asked the headlight. You know how just over time they fade out. They
Yeah.
look awful.
Yeah.
So the good one that I had was where the tire hit. The bad one that's faded as hell is on the other side.
Right.
So I tell the guy when I get to this body shop, I got to go to La Mesa, I open up insurance claim, all this stuff. When I get there, I tell the guy, I'm like, hey, can you also make sure you change this side? I want that so that you're going to get a new one here. Let's change it both.
Right.
I'll get a quote for you. I'm like, for sure, man. That wasn't what I was talking about, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So did you drive it home?
I drove it all the way to the body shop. At the body shop, stopped, left it there. My car's still in La Mesa, California. Enterprise comes, picks
got a
me
car?
up, get a hold, the whole thing.
That
Hey,
is quite a way
good
to
morning,
spend the
guys.
Thanksgiving weekend.
Good morning.
It was that second trip to San Diego that
what it
got
was.
you. You should have stayed in Hacienda Heights
I was
or
doing the right
Pasadena,
thing.
or you doubled. Never double back. Never double back. You're a
Unbelievable.
good son and a good brother for going down to see family, but my goodness, that
favorite-
sucks, Al. I'm sorry.
My favorite is when I said,
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Was your heart just racing when that thing hit you?
no. You want to know
Really?
why? I was confused. I didn't know what the hell
Yeah,
just
but a
happened.
tire is coming at you at a pretty significant rate. That's
but it's
pretty
not
scary.
like I had 7 seconds to say, that bad boy.
Just like that.
It just, cars kind of swerve. I'm like, what are you guys doing? And the next thing I know,
Bang.
it's just tire.
So is it rolling or bouncing?
Rolling. Bouncing is a whole different thing.
Have you ever seen Final
If it was
Destination?
bouncing?
That is bouncing. You could have gotten killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Rolling is tears your bumper off and makes a screeching
Take
sound.
the whole thing out and go State Farm.
I was going to say, Final Destination, this is one of the many things. It's like, how many ways that you can die. And, like, a lot of these involve things rolling at you on the highway. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, you dodged the bullet there.
I did think, I remember, people, airplanes, roller coasters, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, no, the freeway is much more dangerous. I'm like, yeah, I can attest to that one.
You concur, finally. You've come around to that.
Something similar happened to me one time on Thanksgiving, too, as well. Like, my friend and I were driving back to college, and we ran over, like, a styrofoam cooler. We didn't really see it until it was underneath us, and we heard it dragging. But we were like, why is everyone avoiding us at all costs? Because, like, everyone on the freeway, like, cleared out around us. We're like, oh, no. So we pulled off to the side, and the cooler dislodged itself, and then we just continued on home. Like, he had a truck, so it was half the ground, so it wasn't the end of the world. But, oof, that sucks.
When do you get your car back?
No idea. I don't think they can look at it until Monday. So I have no idea. All right, during this holiday season,
Maybe never.
ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and purchase a green fee, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru. No idea.
Did you get a cool rental car at least? Did you get like a Hummer or something?
Such a
to
sick,
protect yourself from flying objects.
Such a
PT Cruiser.
sick Nissan Altima.
Yeah, well,
2021.
Look, when I got sideswiped by a skip loader a few years ago. It tore my door off. It was terrifying. The good news was it only took me 3 years to get comfortable driving on the freeway again. Everything happened. Like I'd see a truck like a mile down the road. I'm like, I'm just gonna exit. I'm just gonna exit because that truck feels like it wants to hit me. So I'm just gonna go. And 3 years later, I'm back. I'm able to pass 18-wheelers with only a small amount of terror.
I'm ready for 2025.
Buckle up. It's going to take some time. We got a couple of giveaways today. We got a $1 Million Monday, so be listening for that. Plus, we're going to give away some tickets for the Pac-12 championship game, SC and Utah, coming up on Friday. In fact, Slee, let's talk a little bit about that. SC did exactly what I thought they might do. That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. Football season's heating up, so now's the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now new customers get a no-sweat
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays. Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
I'm going to give you a little tip that's not going to cost you anything. Have you downloaded the all-new ESPNLA app yet? Just search ESPNLA in your App Store or Google Play. It literally costs nothing and brings so much enjoyment. Download, tap, bam! You got Travis and Sliwa in the palm of your hand. All the podcasts. Listen live with just one tap. It's all right there. Get the new ESPNLA app to celebrate Cyber Monday. Right now, we celebrate with more Travis and Sliwa on 710.
It is.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, rolled right into you.
I see what you're doing.
How long after the tire smashed into your car, you're like, Trav's going to like this story? Did it take a couple of days, or were you like, as it's happening, well, at least I have something to talk about on Monday?
I knew out the gate. I knew right there. Probably 30 seconds later, I'm like, oh, T-Raj is going to like this. The rest stop. Bro, I'm telling you, if you saw the look on their face when I was pulling
Look
in,
at this
like,
guy.
What the hell is he driving? Why is his car making that kind of noise? Look, you guys want to sit around? I'll tell you a little story around the campfire. Go use the restroom and get out of here, okay?
I'm glad you're all right. I'm glad that you got out of a scary situation in one piece. Last time I saw you was Tuesday a week ago.
Yeah.
It was my birthday, and we don't do a lot of gifts in my house, especially for me and for Susan, because, whatever. There's not a lot of things we need. I got one of the best birthday gifts I've ever gotten in my life from my children. For real. I got a pellet ice maker for my house.
Whoa.
You have no idea how excited I am for that. It is the dumbest thing and the best thing simultaneously. Completely unnecessary, and I couldn't have been happier to get it. So I was hearing Chris talk about Cyber Monday there, and the only thing I've wanted for years is an ice machine, and now I have one, and it's all good. I can die now. I really don't need to live to be 150. I got my ice machine.
How much use did you get out of it?
Decent amount. A decent amount. I put it to pretty good use this weekend.
When there was the whole Good Karma buys, 710, that whole situation happens. I remember you and I would have like side conversations of what was happening in the kitchen.
Right.
Okay. Because there was the original water and ice maker there, and that was taken away initially, correct?
It's devastating, yes.
And I remember you telling me kind of side stories like, hey, I don't know about this whole, I don't know what they think they're doing, but they're coming in, they're taking away our ice.
Yeah,
none of the other details matter.
Where'd the ice machine go?
None of the other details
my
mattered.
first question was, I'll take it. If you're just going to get rid of it, give it to me. I'll plug it in the garage and put it to good use.
It was part of the deal. ESPN took it back. It's back there now. So I knew a while back that you cared about ice.
I care deeply about ice, and we got it taken care of. Obviously, a lot of sports going on this weekend. So this is not, and I told you so, except for that's exactly what it is. Remember last year, it was almost a year ago exactly at this time when they hired Lincoln Riley at SC. And I was telling you, and I was telling everybody that would listen, even when Clay Helton was the coach at SC prior to this. It's like this is the only program on the West Coast, really kind of west of the Mississippi River that's not UT, that is just the right coach away from being right back in the mix like this. That the brand, because everybody wants it to happen. No one in the Pac-12, Oregon's happy, SC's good. UCLA's happy. It's better for the entire conference that when Utah's the best team in your league, no one gives a damn. Utah's really good, but no one cares. SC's different. You get Lincoln Riley, and it happened even quicker than I thought. I thought that this would be kind of a Pete Carroll situation. I think Pete Carroll went 6-5 or 6-6 in his first year, but you could see it coming. They kind of turned that corner, and it was going to happen sooner than later. This guy shows up, and in the first year, he's a win on Friday night away from going to the college football playoff. SC hasn't been to the college football playoff. They haven't had a Heisman Trophy candidate, much less a winner, since Reggie Bush a few years ago. And that, that feels like a lifetime ago at this point. He shows up, uses the transfer portal, gets the right player in Caleb Williams, gets the right player in Jordan Addison, rebuilds an offensive line, which we'll get to in a second, and SC is right back where they belong in one. Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, all of these programs that matter. SC used to be one, and they're one again, and it happened like that.
So we were really, our only conversations about SC prior to this season was, damn, this is pathetic. There's nothing to talk about with this school. They're kind of a laughing stock in the Pac-12 too. There's expectations are always there, and they're not delivering. Lincoln Riley comes. listen, you tell me how you thought about this, and you are right, because you did make mention. There's only a few programs that could turn it around like
instantly,
that.
Virtually instantly.
And you could have said, all right, Al, everything goes perfect this season for USC. How good are they? Well, they're not going to make the college football playoff.
The Heisman Trophy winner.
With a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
I mean, Lincoln Riley, today's the anniversary, right? Today's the anniversary that became head coach of USC. It was interesting because he had those moments during that presser where it's like, I'm a big under-promise, oversell.
Yep.
And I'm not telling you he was overselling, but damn was he confident. Take a listen. This is a year ago today he's getting introduced at USC.
I'm not big on false promises, hollow promises. I'm not going to stand up here and talk about all the different things that I think we can do. We see the potential there. We know we've got to go to work, and it's going to take every single one of us. But if we all do what we can you imagine the scene down here? Some of you guys have seen it. Some of you guys have experienced it. I'm ready to experience it, and I'm ready for our current players and our future players to experience that as well.
It's not that I didn't like it.
Right.
I liked it. And I remember even kind of telling myself, I'm like, there's certain people that can say something, and you're like, all right, I don't know if I hear what they're saying, but do I really believe it? He said it, and it was, all right, interesting. He's calling it out. This is USC. You guys know what the Coliseum has looked like in the past. You guys know what this program is in the history of college football when it's at its best. And he had the way, just kind of the tone of saying it, like, all right, it's going to be back, but guys, it's going to take a second.
Yeah. It took
USC Notre Dame on Saturday at the Coliseum.
Took one season.
They dominated. They were always up basically 2 scores the entire way.
They were never in jeopardy of losing.
Never in jeopardy of losing that game, and it was like.
And by the way, Notre Dame's good. They're not great, but they're good.
They made them look average.
Yeah, they pushed them around. And here's the thing. I want to go back to something you said a second ago. Did you see the scene in the Coliseum on Saturday? It was, I don't know how many people, 80,000 plus people fired up, ready to see a show, and they got one, right? They got one from Caleb Williams. He put on every year there's that Heisman Trophy game, right, where somebody does something that everybody's up, okay, he just won it. And he did it. He had that incredible scramble where he ran, I think it was 85 yards to pick up, I don't know what it was, 50 or something. It was an unbelievable play. And you could just feel it. It's like it's back. And it was back because you got the star player in Caleb Williams, and he is really something else. Jordan Addison had a pretty quiet day, all things being. They ran the ball like crazy. They did it without Travis Dye, which I think is a really big deal because I thought they were going to really miss him. But you know what the best part about it is, Al? And this is why not only this year, I think they'll win on Friday. We'll talk about that coming up in a bit. But I think that this is something that will be sustainable for a while. They got the line right again. They're just pushing people around. Everybody talking Carson Palmer and Dwayne Jarrett and Keyshawn Johnson and you're talking about Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and Lendell White and all of these great skill players, and they have those guys. But the reason SC smashed people year after year after year is those 5 guys up front were all NFL players. Every last one of them. All 5 guys would ultimately not only go to the NFL, but be very good NFL players. And you watch this game, Notre Dame's got NFL guys too.
Yep.
They were pushing them around. They were the better athletes, and that's the difference. And that's what Lincoln Riley knew at that conference, at the introductory press conference. It wasn't just, hey, listen, we've got the history. It's he knew what people that follow SC football knew. This is not far off. We had a bad team. They were 4-8 a year ago.
Yep.
But we've got bad culture. We don't have the right guys. We can get the right guys a lot faster than we used to because of the portal. I've got my quarterback. I know how good this guy is because I was with him at Oklahoma. But we get that line right. We'll take away a few plays on defense. They still give up a ton of yards, but they take the ball away. It happened that fast, and he knew it. That's why he said it. He knew what was sitting right there. Clay Helton never understood what this was, which is you just need to get 2 or 3 of the right guys, and this thing will start to feed on itself. They're going to go to the portal again. They're going to recruit Texas and Ohio and New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Oregon and Nevada and Colorado the way they always have, whereas before they were getting clobbered. Look, all these quarterbacks, whether it's the kid in Clemson or the guy at Bryce Young at Alabama, these are all California guys that left.
Sure.
They're not leaving anymore. They're going to get those guys. So not only is it incredibly exciting right now, this is extremely sustainable moving forward.
Put it in perspective, this morning we're coming off 4 days of not doing a show, okay? think about every single topic that we could have hit to start off the show. Want to talk Lakers basketball? Want to talk Dodgers? Verlander's meeting with the Dodgers later.
Don't say it.
You want to talk NFL?
Yes, I do want to talk NFL.
You want to talk USA Iran coming up at 11 a.m. Don't give me that look.
That's tomorrow. The game's tomorrow, right?
Is it tomorrow?
USA Iran
it's tomorrow,
is tomorrow.
Tuesday.
Yeah, see,
100%. I was walking around telling people today. I'm like, hey, coming up at 11. So
well, they got to recuperate from that scintillating 0-0 draw. Oh, did you guys see the draw? Yeah, I saw nothing happen for an hour and a half.
It was essentially a win, Trav.
All the different things that we could have started the show off with started with SC. So just to kind of play off of what you just mentioned, how quick it could churn. It churns in LA too with all this different attention that can go in all these different directions.
It was the best show of the weekend. It wasn't close.
Yeah, it was.
The Rams didn't give him anything. Chargers, nobody cares. The Raiders had a cool moment where they had a long walk, but that was the show of the weekend. It was the Caleb Williams Heisman Trophy party. And oh, by the way, now we got to go beat Utah. So can they go beat Utah? That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. If you are injured in an accident, for instance, a tire is bouncing down the road that smashes into the side of your car, you need to know that not all personal injury attorneys are created the same. Sweet James has been voted best attorneys in America, and personal injury, that is all they do. And it's because their success is driven by their passion to help their clients. You do not want to take on the insurance companies alone. You're going to need someone to advocate for you, and that's why you call Sweet James Accident Attorneys. He used to work for the insurance companies. He knows how they operate. He knows that they're not looking out for your best interest. They're looking out for their own best interest. That's why you got to call Sweet James. 800-500-5200. Say it with me. 800-500-5200 and sweetjames.com. If you are hurt in an accident, that call is a big part of what happens next.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win a mill.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
is $1 million Monday. Your chance at $1 million. Just wait for the cue to call. Be caller number 7. Give us your Super Bowl prediction, both teams, and the final score. And if that happens, you win $1 million. And just for playing, you win Rams tickets. $1 million Monday all day long. Keep listening right here on 710 ESPN right now. More of Travis Lee.
If you are lucky enough to be the $1 Million Monday winner, I would suggest not picking the Rams. Slee, what's going on? I mean,
at this point, at least nothing's a surprise or a shock.
No, it's neither
now
of those.
It's expected.
But it was, hey, they got 10 points and they were excited to get it. Super fun season. It has been. It's been incredibly fun.
It's good.
Season.
You can use that for both the Rams and the Dodgers.
You can use it for all of them at the moment. It has been a super fun World Cup for Team USA.
USA Iran tomorrow, by the way. Tomorrow
you should have seen the look on your face.
We're coming up.
We're on YouTube today, so I don't know if can you rewind YouTube, Slee? I think you can.
Yeah.
Right. So they got to go back
once the stream is over. Yes.
Okay. So once the stream is over, you have to go back to when I said I think it's tomorrow. You looked at me like, "What are you, an idiot?" No, it's today. Like, no, and I wasn't entirely sure. Like, when you said it was today, I'm like, I guess it could be today.
Yeah, it's not like you've been sitting around saying to yourself, well, I'm going to get up a little early tomorrow and watch yourself some
I watched the entire match, USA-England.
Okay.
I watched it, and I really did have a good time watching it. It was, I don't want to say it was exciting because it wasn't, but it was compelling. Right? Yeah. I think that's a better word. You're trying to wait to see what's going to happen. And then when it was over, it was like, great draw. I'm like, come on, man. Can we not pretend that 0-0 was anything other than 0-0?
I got an equivalent.
Why is that great?
I got an equivalent for you.
Okay.
And I don't know how you feel about this, but a baseball game that's played, it's 2-0.
Okay.
Do you hate games like that or no? There's a lot of strategy that goes into it. There's a lot of, obviously a pitching duel, 2 pitchers, fantastic, great. The defense, every play matters.
Sure.
Do you like games like that or
occasionally? No? Sure, but the flaw in your analogy
is it happens
that
all the
one
time?
Team had 2,
right?
Not zeros. Like the breakdown in your comparison is somebody eventually has to score in a baseball game. It might take a month. You could play a 95-inning game theoretically, but somebody's going to win. This one's like, we're cool.
Is it fair to say
drives me nuts
that no matter what, if I had 10 different soccer guys here trying to convince you that is still a good game based upon all these different circumstances, it wouldn't matter?
I don't think it would matter.
I don't think it would matter.
I don't think it would matter. I'm here for they can still go through to the knockout round. If they beat Iran tomorrow, they go through. And I do like it's fairly simple. It's either win or you're done. Yeah. Right? There's no draw. There's no differentials. There's no win the game and you go through. That's exciting. I do like that. But I don't like this idea that a 0-0 tie is. I don't like moral victories. I don't like things that don't make sense to me personally. And this idea that is this really? Was it really great when Pulisic hit the bar? That was exciting. Like, wow, it almost went in. And then you sat there for another hour and a half. It's like, come on, man.
There's so much tension.
I'm okay with
Travis.
it. Yeah, I'm all right with it. I mean, it's not my preference.
Happened.
It's not my preference. But there's enough juice there where
I watched the whole thing and I wasn't bored by it. I would be lying if I said I wasn't fully present, paying attention.
You want to see a 2-1 game.
I just want to see the ball in the back of the net a couple of times. I know this is the dumbest soccer drives me crazy rant ever.
No,
but it does.
What it is, it's where does soccer rank in your preference of sports?
It's down the list.
So that's okay. Somebody in, I don't know if I have a comp to it because every other sport actually scores. So it's not good for me to use those comps. Look, they're going to get to do you like penalty kicks or no?
I do, but as a non-soccer person, I like it, but I understand the argument that it's like deciding the NBA Finals with a 3-point shooting.
I'm with you.
I get
it.
I get why a soccer person would not like
Here's
it.
the good
news. I understand that.
Good news is, after this round, you're going to see goals hit the back of the net to determine who moves.
Good. I'm excited. All right, so somebody will score Friday at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas when USC and Utah play in the Pac. First of all, I think that getting Utah is actually a better deal for USC. I think that they're a more beatable team than Oregon is. I think that what Oregon can score a lot of points.
Yeah.
Utah scored a lot of points against the Trojans too. But I think you get their full attention. Not that having a berth in the Final Four on the line wouldn't, but this is the one team that beat you. They beat you by a point with a 2-point conversion at the buzzer.
Yep.
This is the perfect opponent for them to come back in because you have to play well. There is no asleep at the switch. Everything that would demand your full attention is now right in front of you.
I couldn't agree more. And listen, there was a point, Oregon State, so much good football on Saturday. But there's
By
a
the way,
point.
Dan Lanning, Oregon's coach, is a knucklehead.
Complete idiot.
He's a knucklehead.
Yes, he went again.
0 for 5 on fourth down.
Okay, how about this? One of them was like 25, 30-yard line, something like that, on their own 25 or 30.
At the end of the game, where if the other guy gets it, you lose.
Dumbass.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yes.
But they had, at one point, they were up, I want to say it was 34 to, what did they lose again? 38-34, I think is what they lost, something like that. They were up a couple scores. And you're just thinking in your head, you know,
They were up
Funches,
21 points in the second half.
Funches and I were doing the Laker game, and we're like, damn, okay, it's gonna be SC and Oregon, and then just Oregon State comes out and they come back. I'm with you on the, and we hadn't seen that matchup, so I think there was a little bit of excitement to see USC versus Oregon. This is the Pac-12 championship should be USC and Oregon, just based off history.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of that.
I'll buy that.
Oregon ends up losing. It's like, all right, so you got Utah that's coming back. Listen, I'm not telling you that Utah's not a good football team. They are a good football team. But USC is a good football team. And USC, that one loss because Utah goes for 2 and that's your game, 43-42, I think that plays into this. I think there is going to be, can we get another crack at those guys? Now, if it was Oregon. It is what it is. But I think this will, in a weird way, benefit USC that they get another shot at Utah. And the way they're playing football right now is different than they were playing football back then. And I know that's just a few, 5-6 weeks ago, whatever it was. Yep. But they are playing better football right now. They beat UCLA. They beat Notre Dame. They're riding this wave. And you know what they got staring right in front of them is a trip to the college football championship.
Final Four. And here, everything that needed to break their way this weekend did. Right? Not only did they beat Notre Dame, which was the most important part, but they won decisively.
Yep.
They had a Heisman Trophy moment for Caleb Williams. LSU spit the bit against A&M, which means even if LSU upsets Georgia next week, LSU isn't going. They're not putting a 3-loss team in right there. I think Georgia could actually lose the SEC championship game and still go to the final. I think they're in no matter what.
Yep.
Ohio State not only lost to Michigan, we knew somebody was going to lose that game.
They got trounced.
They got beat by 22 points at home. They're done. There was no more. Yeah, they didn't lose by a 55-yard field goal to lose by 1.
Sure.
It was back. They got their butts kicked.
Yeah, but the Big Ten president was. How about the sales job by some of these guys?
That's what they're supposed to do.
But it was kind of funny. It's like, you know, when you oversell something.
Yeah.
Every one of his quotes, I'm like, relax.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And you even had Nick, Saban was also trying to make a case. Hey, we lost a couple games, both of them at the last second, all that stuff. I get all that stuff, but damn, an oversell like no tomorrow.
Alabama has 2 losses by a combined 4 points, one of them in overtime and one of them with a kick that was spinning like a helicopter. They're 2 weird plays away from being right in there, too. But everything that needed to happen for them happened. All they need to do is beat Utah. All they need to do is beat the one team that beat them this season on a close play, like all the things that we've talked about, and Lincoln Riley will have fulfilled all of his. And by the way, they could go in, they could be number 4, they could go play Georgia, they could lose by 4 touchdowns, and guess what? Great season. Great season, because you're going to have a Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
I even think he could throw 4 interceptions on Friday night. I still think he wins the Heisman Trophy. I don't think it's coming off of his shelf. I think he's got it locked up.
Crazy, too. If you look at his best performances this year, with all the money on the line, he's been his best. Against Utah, he was great. Against UCLA, he was great. Against Notre Dame, he was a freaking video game. He was a video game in that in that performance. So when the stakes are at their highest, that's when he's at his best.
I just want them being the Rams, to just consider that Caleb Williams is draft eligible in 2024. The Rams do have a first-round draft pick in 2024. Just putting it out there. Ask Slee coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, stay tuned to 710 ESPN every night for the Road to the Cup show presented by Estrella Jalisco.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time, what I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
Does he go out and hunt for it, or will he Instacart it? Hashtag Ask Slee.
Time for the segment everyone loves. Time for the segment Los Angeles loves. Ask Slee.
Ask Slee.
And Ask Slee this morning is presented by Harrah's Resort SoCal. Voted best resort in Futter, California. From dining to unwinding, a trip to Futter, California is always a win. Are you game for a getaway? Start planning your trip by visiting harrahssocal.com. And it is time for Ask Slee.
All right, if you want to get in on the phone, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. We're going to do an Ask Bergman on Wednesday. So if you want to start thinking in those terms,
Ask Berg.
Give you a couple of days head start right there. Al, did you do an Ask Beto on Wednesday when I was here, or did you do Ask Slee?
We did a mix.
Okay.
People had a couple questions. We went around the room. Gave everyone a chance to kind of answer their favorite side during Thanksgiving dinner, all that stuff.
Did you get enough? Did you get a lot of leftovers?
Oh. When did I think through Saturday.
From which dinner, though?
That's right. It's a good question.
So Thursday, actually, no. Last night as well. Because here's what happened. Thursday, dinner at my mom's, right? Or lunch at my mom's. That food, I was there the whole weekend. That food just continued.
Just kept picking away at it?
It's kept going.
Yeah.
That's
the correct way to do it.
Yeah, I was,
grazing.
I was going hard to the hoop. Just every day it was kind of hard to the hoop. When I got back yesterday, there was food that she brought from her mom's from Thursday night that I was grazing at yesterday.
So they're carving the turkey at I went to my mom and dad's for Thanksgiving too, and we had 20 people, I think. And so my dad carves the turkey in a big pile and all of a sudden it's all gone, right? And I just see the carcass of the bird. I'm like, well, this is a disaster. Whole second turkey in the outside fridge ready to go.
Oh, man.
It was terrific. Spare turkey. Best idea I've ever seen in my life.
Is that
2
not
turkeys.
You?
Yeah.
Like what
Learn
your
from
dad
you, Dad.
what your dad just pulled right there will be you in 20, 25 years.
I got a whole nother turkey outside. I'm like, this is the greatest day of my life. All right, let's start right here. Christopher Holmes. Soccer doesn't do it for Trav. What doesn't do it for you, Slee? Cricket, bocce ball, polo. What is that sport that people have tried to talk you into? You're like, not really my thing.
All right.
F1.
No, this is I've never actually spent time watching hockey.
Yeah.
I've never said, hey, you know what? Let's really give hockey a shot. I find myself in just random, okay, I'll watch tennis, I'll watch golf here and there. Just it might be a specific tournament or something like that. Or there's a specific player that I just want to see. Hockey has never done it for me.
Have you been in person?
I have been years ago.
Okay.
Years ago, I went to a Kings game, but years ago.
I'm not going to do the soccer fan thing and try to convince you why you're wrong. I'm just saying take in another game in person and see how you feel.
I got to do
that.
I got to do that.
Because it's kind of fun, and it's loud, and it's exciting, and it moves fast.
The
and
people who
score.
love hockey, I mean, I shouldn't have to be sold on this, but I don't sit there on my TV and say, hey, it's Monday night, I'm going to turn on a hockey game. I don't do that.
It's Kraken versus the Wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's a real matchup.
I know, but how can I do
people
that?
Think I might be kidding.
How can I do that when the Pelicans are playing the Atlanta Hawks?
I understand. You're the NBA guy. Let's go to Downey and Jason. Jason, hashtag Ask Slee. What's up, Jason?
Good morning, boys. So my hashtag Ask Slee for today is Big Al. What is the normal dress code for when you meet up with your family for the holidays? Are you wearing like a nice sweater? You're wearing a button-up? Or are you wearing the same Alden Campbell jersey you're wearing the 4th of July to Christmas, Easter, and Thanksgiving? Have a great day, guys.
Good question.
Thanks, Jason.
Good question on the Alden Campbell one.
Can I guess about
Can I get an Alden Campbell jersey? Can somebody send me one so that...
Order one in the NBA store, I bet.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah. That's a lot. Gotta throw $25 towards that?
I'm guessing the Sliwa family dress code at Thanksgiving is not formal, but it's everybody's dressed nicely.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I don't really throw on a sweater or anything like that, but I'll have a nice dress shirt on. Not like I'm going to a game.
Is your
or
shirt
anything
tucked
like that.
in?
Doesn't have to be tucked.
Okay.
But it just depends the shirt. Some of these shirts just they go down to your knees. So it's like
I have the
all right,
opposite problem. I have like, why won't this shirt get to my belt buckle? Like, I understand that there's more surface area that I need to cover up, but I'd like it to go to my belt buckle at least.
Not wearing it's not casual, but it's also not super
flip flops and board shorts, but not a top hat and monocle.
Yeah,
somewhere in the middle.
I found a vintage rare Eldon Campbell LA champion jersey, size XXL, for $600 on eBay.
Hey,
there you go, Slee. Good, give Taylor your credit card.
This is why I want it. This is why I want it, because I still haven't decided. When the Lakers beat the Kings next time around, I haven't decided what jersey you're going to wear.
I want the $600 one.
Oh, you came up. The Light the Beam came up in the pregame show with Michael and I.
Uh-huh.
I thought Michael 100% was going to say, yeah, I think that's cheesy. We got the whole kind of a little bit of the background story of it. I thought he was going to say it's cheesy, this, that. He was like, I wish the Lakers do it. I'm like, Michael, they can't do it. It's their idea.
The Lakers
He's
shouldn't
like, well,
do it.
Lakers take ideas. Or it's like people take ideas from others.
People steal good ideas from other people all the time. The Lakers cannot do that.
That's the point I was trying to make.
And I love that the Kings do it. It's perfect.
The nation by storm.
Are they still winning, or did they finally get beat?
They dropped 2 in a row.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
The universe didn't want you to get too far ahead of yourself.
Yeah, that's why
it was
I don't
making sure. This is from Anthony Rincon. Says, man, Trav, pellet ice is my new oddly satisfying item since seeing it at Raising Cane's. The ice flows out so smoothly. What is Slee's oddly satisfying pleasure? Like something that's not a big deal, but she's like, man, I really like this.
Let me keep it in the kitchen. Let me kind of try to keep it in that world. I never had an air fryer before. In the last 6-8 months or so, we've had an air fryer. That thing you can use for almost anything. I mean, reheating food.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is that you have, but if you got something in your fridge, and in my opinion, it's going to make it taste better, I think the air fryer, I don't know, I feel like it's a little underrated, not talked about enough. That's a good little tool there in the kitchen.
My daughter, Kelly, wanted one for Christmas a couple years ago. I'm like, Kelly, that thing, it's huge. It takes up a ton of space. She said, no, it's great. It's my second favorite thing in the kitchen behind the ice maker.
It's kind of clutch.
It's terrific.
I have something that I always kind of care about is a good pen. A good pen goes such a long way, and it makes or breaks a writing experience. So I really like Papermates. I also have a Pilot that's good, but if it's a bad pen, it's terrible. And
That's
I like
a great
really
answer.
Good pen.
That is a great answer. I don't know if you've noticed when I have my pens go dry at the Rams, I freak out because I've got a very specific type that I want.
Go to break.
They go dry quickly. They only last a couple of weeks before they go dry. So
it's a good gift. I got a good gift a while back. It was a good pen.
2 for $6. Just saying, it's a good way to do
clutch.
it.
The problem is I'm always fearful of losing it.
Capitano Matt, which is more frightening, an earthquake or a volcano eruption? Hashtag Ask Slee. Because you saw where, was it Kilauea that erupted earlier today?
It's got to be, it's got to be earthquake. Just simply because can happen. We've felt it before. We've had those moments before. It's not like I have a story to tell or the earthquake in, 94 or something like that? Northridge. But I think earthquake would be just because it's more likely to happen here. Right? Like more likely to feel it. So I would say earthquake.
Earthquakes are terrifying because they come out of nowhere. They and I know that this isn't true, but it feels like they always happen very early in the morning, and you're half asleep and you're running for your life. I've never lived near a volcano.
No,
so
earthquakes have a window. They're very
like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
to 7. That's the only part that they ever seem to hit like that. I was convinced the world was ending when Northridge happened. That the whole world was coming to an end. I've never been around a volcanic eruption, but that seems fairly with just, I don't know, the mountain explodes and liquid rock is flowing. That seems like a big deal.
Yeah.
That seems like something to be scared of.
But also both are inevitable. A volcano that's active is going to erupt eventually. An earthquake is going to happen eventually. You just can't live your life in fear.
Mauna Loa.
I just got more
that's
nervous.
Not Kilauea.
When she said you can't live your life in fear, I just got a little more scared.
I thought that as the doomsday expert on the show, you would have been fired up for more volcanic eruptions. I thought that would have been your deal. One more. Francis in Glendale. Did you score any Black Friday deals?
No.
The body shop didn't hook you up?
I did not. By the way, somebody was saying...
They tend to do that.
Somebody was saying, it was pretty funny. He was talking about specifically, hey, did you tell the body shop that it's Black Friday? Can you get some kind of a discount? I don't think they're going to do that. However, whoever said something earlier about, I can't remember, it might have even been before the show started, about Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Forgot. I texted my girl, we need a TV. So,
oh my gosh!
I hit her up and she's like, "Best Buy's got this." So I'm like, "All right."
I saw one the other day, and I'm going to get this a little. It was like a 58-inch smart TV for like $200, and it was a brand that was like, "Yeah, that's a good brand."
She just
so
said
cheap
she
now
just said
for how
something right
good
now.
they are.
55-inch it was $200.
Yeah, get a couple. Just have them be ready. The second one gets dirty, just throw it away and unwrap the new one. Take it out of
You
the
lose
box.
a remote, throw it away.
What's funny is this weekend, or this past week when I was in South Carolina, the TV in the room that I was in was one of those old chunky gray TVs, still with a VHS and DVD player. And I was like, this is like a relic out of.
Well, it's funny because, like you said, they're so cheap now. It's impossible to not just buy one for $200.
It used to be a piece of furniture in your house, like a big piece of
thick
furniture
ones,
in
right?
your house.
Like it just, yeah.
Hey, that picture's a little fake. Throw it away. We'll go to Costco and get a new one later today. Little bit different. All right, the Rams. I think we have to do it, Slee. I think we have to talk about what happened in Kansas City yesterday and what, unfortunately, may happen over the next 6 weeks. That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
It is Travis and Sliwa, your Monday. It's Cyber Monday in America, which means you're getting like 300 emails telling you to buy stuff on sale. Hey, buy what you want, Jack. But on this Cyber Monday, I'm going to give you a little tip that's not going to cost you anything. Have you downloaded the all-new ESPNLA app yet? Just search ESPNLA in your App Store or Google Play. It literally costs nothing and brings so much enjoyment. Download, tap, bam! You got Travis and Sliwa in the palm of your hand. All the podcasts. Listen live with just one tap. It's all right there. Get the new ESPNLA app to celebrate Cyber Monday. Right now, we celebrate with more Travis and Sliwa on 710.
You're right about Thanksgiving, by the way. It is the best holiday of the year.
So good.
It's all of the good stuff and virtually none of the bad.
Come on.
Right? Food, family, football, hanging out,
And
a couple of days
everything's
off from work.
already known.
Yeah.
It's going to be on Thursday. There is this no floating day, any of that.
No.
You get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And if
you
No
get
gifts?
NFL on Thursday. Friday, they start sprinkling in some of the college
Sure.
games. NBA's going on. They're going to have a full slate of games. Don't you and me. Saturday, you get college. Sunday, you get the NFL. I mean, there was even the Washington State game, which was on late on Saturday.
Yeah,
I'm
Apple
like,
Cup.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Keep it on.
Washington State could have hooked Oregon up and got them back in. They didn't do the deal. You can even get that Wednesday off if you plan ahead far enough in advance, Lee. I couldn't help
Low
myself. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
That one's on me.
Or you could just have COVID and you have the whole week off too.
And Emily said it the best, too. That the Christmas is fine. I don't mean to be Ebenezer Scrooge here.
Yeah.
But the burden of having to buy a lot of people
going on.
gifts, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of boxes you have to check along the way.
Lakers always have a game on
Lakers
Christmas.
have all the. Hey, by the way, Rams Broncos Christmas Day. Who's in?
Who?
Oh, gosh. That's on Christmas?
It's on Christmas, yes, Alan. It is.
There are four more standalone games, right?
And it's at 1:25. It's the only game on at that particular time, so you should stop your holiday festivities and lean into Rams and Broncos.
Lakers are at 11:30. You and I should do pre at the same time. Just at the same time.
Just do one, broadcast it to both. We'll talk a little Lakers in one segment, a little Rams in another.
Lakers taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Luka, got to stop him. Go ahead, Trav, and then you could start going on Rams. We just
take Kyron Williams, young player out of Notre Dame, looked promising. Bryce Perkins, can he take a step forward? A lot like AD, Slee. Maybe you'd like to pick it up from there and talk a little bit about Anthony Davis.
Funny.
So you were sick the whole weekend?
Yeah, I was sick. I started getting sick last Sunday, and then I got to South Carolina, and I tested positive on Tuesday, so that was really fun. Before the elderly got to South Carolina, thankfully, so I was up in my little Rapunzel castle, I would say. So, like, this house we were staying at has 2 master bedrooms, and so I was in one master bedroom with the old TV, but the balcony, so everyone could sit down and outside and, like, talk to me on the balcony, which was nice. But, yeah, it was. My aunt was like, "This is a lot of effort to go through to get your own room and own bathroom and have everyone serve you for a week." When I was like, yeah, I'm just like really sick for a whole week."
What did you do if you were sequestered or isolated? What's the word we use? Quarantine. That's the quarantine. Yeah.
Damn, I haven't said that in a while.
Right?
Yeah.
I watched a lot of soccer, so not your favorite thing in the world, and I watched a lot of football, and then I just watched a lot of TV and stuff, and it was, it wasn't the best, but it was nice to have my family there. My parents helped me out and waited on me, which is nice, but the worst thing was coming back to LA.
Can I just say,
I had terrible luck.
If there's a time to where you have to sit in a room and do nothing, that's a pretty damn good time.
A lot of sports.
A lot of freaking sports there for you. A lot of sports. Even if you're not a big soccer fan, the games start at 2 a.m.
Yeah, they're on
2 a.m., 5 a.m. and
by the way, how come we have no preemptions?
Don't worry, I was awake.
It's like the one time you need an international event on the other side of the world.
Yep.
Right? And
when Qatar won, when they won the bid, I was like, we got it. Even though you and I haven't had a show, that was predetermined
12 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago they got the bid. Like right now, Portugal and Uruguay. Why is that not preempting us?
Sounds like we should have it on. All right, your story coming back.
Yeah.
That's not a fun story.
Yeah, so I came back, and I parked at Boss Amanda's place because she lives really close to the airport, which is really nice of her to take me to the airport. So I got there.
Very nice.
And I get to my car. I Ubered from the airport to my car. I get up to my car. I click my
Where
fob.
were you parked?
So she I'm not going to give her address, but it was on the side of the road by her
Just
apartment.
give, like, the crossroads.
How far from the airport, I guess, is what I'm...
10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay.
Yeah, very close. So it was a pretty cheap Uber ride and everything. So I click my fob. Doesn't open. I click it again. Nothing's happening to my car. I'm like, okay, great. So then I try to get the hidden key out of my fob. I realize that this key that I got last year when my fob got lost has no ridges in it. So I can't even use the fake hidden key. So there's no way I can get into this car right now. So
Which is the last thing you want to deal with.
After
I had a long flight.
Freaking come back. You're like, I just want to get home.
Sure.
Yes, don't feel very well. So then I get in an Uber. I go back home. The next day, I go to AutoZone, get a battery for my fob, think it's my fob that's the issue. Get some Uber again to my car, down by Amanda's place, and the fob is not the issue. There's no juice in my car to even open my car doors. So I call the AAA to come, unlocks my car, and jumps my car, and my battery is essentially dead. It is less than a year old. So I'm going to have to
get in the zone, AutoZone. Yeah.
Exactly. They helped me out. I had a warranty on it, so I can get that fixed real quick. But it was
Why did it go dead?
I have
Did you
no
leave
idea.
something on?
The guy looked and he's like, there's nothing on. Because when he jumped it again, there was no lights on. There was nothing inside the car that was on. And so it must have just been very random or I have a defunct battery. But it was
something suspicious
not
with Amanda
wonderful.
now.
She went up there, turned the radio on, and went back inside.
Yep, it's all Amanda's fault.
She's being nice to let her park there. Now we're just blaming her.
Joy rides around.
I have terrible car luck.
I guess so. I guess that post cross country flight. You're so right. All you want to do.
That's all you want to do.
Is get home, get in the shower, clean up, and
sit and do nothing.
And do nothing, and just kind of What time did you land?
I landed at like 10 o'clock our time, so my body
PM
was still
or
like
AM?
a PM.
Okay.
My body was like 1 p.m. East Coast time that I landed, and I left at like 8 p.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah, that's a long day. That is a long day with nowhere to go other than go to AutoZone the next day and get a new battery and everything
like
else.
Wanting
But
to
thanks,
reach out to
AutoZone.
AutoZone.
Feeling better. But
Maybe you just needed your battery diagnostics. You could get it tested. If they need a new one, they got new batteries. Proven tough Duralast batteries starting at $79.99. I've read that commercial a few times over the years.
That's pretty good right there.
It just kind of goes
impressive.
in there. You just kind of remember some of these things. Did you watch the Rams yesterday?
Watch some of it. They have reached a point where you want something entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not entertaining, put it this way, I wasn't tuning in for the Rams. I'd be tuning in for the Chiefs, right? You want something entertaining to see. The product's not good enough. It's not good enough to say, hey, I want to watch this. I want to watch it from beginning to end. And what's unfortunate, there hasn't really been a time during Sean McVay's tenure where you would say that.
You're right.
And that's been a lot of what this year has been. It's not a good product.
It hasn't been, and it's shockingly – I mean, shocking is maybe not the right word because the explanation is obvious, but somehow, some way, it gets a little bit worse every single week.
Mm-hmm.
This week it was Bryce Perkins, and no disrespect to him. I think he's doing the best he can. It's his first NFL start. But Allen Robinson, who's probably their best weapon remaining at this point, he's done for the year.
Of course he is.
He's out. He's done for the season. So you have a third-string quarterback with both of your wide receivers down for probably the year in Cubs' case and definitely the year in Allen Robinson's case. You just cut your best running back. You've got the A.J. Arcuri on the left side. He's your starting left tackle. Do you want to take a guess at how many different players have played left tackle for the Rams this year? Keep in mind that yesterday was their 11th game. How many different people have taken
that position?
Just
left
that
tackle?
position alone.
5.
They've had 5 different left tackles at this point. This guy was on the practice squad all season long.
5 different O-linemen.
No, 5 just at left tackle.
That position.
And all the left tackle does is make sure your quarterback doesn't get killed from the blind side. So that's not a big deal. And you've gotten to the point where it is literally moral victories. It is literally, let's just find some silver linings here. And the silver lining yesterday was they didn't get embarrassed.
Yeah.
They didn't lose the game 45-0 or 52-10 or something like that. It wasn't close. They were never really in any threat of winning that game. But, hey, the defense had a couple of turnovers. All right. Hey, we had a fake punt on 4th and 6 that worked. Okay. We picked off Patrick Mahomes in the end zone. All right. Yeah, all those things happen, and you still scored 10 points. You didn't take any of the advantage. They got a turnover on punt coverage. Mm-hmm. They just can't score. They couldn't score with Kupp, with Stafford, with Henderson. How in the world are they supposed to score right now?
Yeah, but think about what you just said. It's really not even about winning. It's not like it's not like you're going into these games saying, hey, can they go and get a win against, I'll use the Saints game as an example. They lose that one, and that one's one of the few that you could say, hey, it's a flip of a coin. Well, it goes the other way, and that's how much pretty much whole season's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go take on KC. It's not about, hey, it's a close game in the fourth quarter. It's one possession. You got a chance to win the game. That's where they're sitting right now, Travis.
Tampa Bay game. That Tampa Bay game was the end of the season. Mm-hmm. They had that game won. If you win that game, who knows what happens after that? You know, it's the sliding doors thing. You don't know, but you have a little bit of momentum. Tampa's not very good, but it would have been the best win on your schedule by a mile. And since then, they've lost 7 of their last 8 games, Lee. They've lost 5 in a row. And here's the most alarming part of all of this. They got 6 games left. 4 of them are standalone games. They got the Christmas game, which you said you'd do the pregame show for me on.
Yes.
You've got that against the Broncos. You've got the Raiders on Thursday night. You've got the Green Bay Packers on Monday night. And then as of right now, the Chargers and Rams are Sunday Night Football. I'd be shocked if it didn't get flexed out.
Yeah.
But at least 3 of those are stand. So the whole league is going to get to see where you are. And I'm not sure. They're 3-8 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that they win another game the rest of the season. Denver, coin flip. Raiders are better than the Rams right now. The Chargers are better than the Rams right now. Green Bay, maybe, but it's going to be – there isn't a game say, yeah, I think they're likely to win that game. They're either going to be heavy underdogs or coin flips against other bad teams.
There's been a lot of good Monday Night Football games, just like classic Monday Night Football games. What if, instead of airing that Monday Night Football game with the Rams, they do like a best of, and they air classic NFL games, but then they have the Rams score at the bottom – just letting you know.
Letting you know. For the 2018 game against the Chiefs.
They're keeping you posted of like, hey, this is what the score is.
Hey.
And then maybe do that for the Thursday night game as well.
I thought that you were going to talk about that you could get ready to see Jordan Love against Bryce Perkins because that's very likely what it will be. It's still a few weeks away. Aaron Rodgers has basically said, listen, I'm going to try to play until we're mathematically eliminated. Well, that could be next week. That could be over. You're not going to see Matthew Stafford anytime soon. Maybe they'll get an upgrade and go to John Wolford, but this is where the season has gone. This is where it is to where they might go 3-14. That would, by the way, if they do, they're almost guaranteed to have the second worst record in the league. Texans have won once. They have a tie. The Bears have won 3 games.
Yep.
The Bears are going to, if Justin Fields comes back, Bears are going to win another game somewhere. He's a dangerous player. I don't know where that next win comes from the Rams if it's not the Broncos. That's it. 3-14 on the heels of winning the Super Bowl?
Only the Rams, or only the Bears right now, like you mentioned, have a worse record than the Rams in the NFC. And, yeah, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I really don't. I think a lot of these...
They won the Super Bowl 5 minutes ago.
I know.
5 minutes? I mean, you were at the parade. We were there together.
The Allen Robinson injury, doesn't that just like, well, of course. Yeah,
what
no,
a
of course.
bust. What an absolute catastrophe of a signing.
I would have, say this in the nicest way possible, I never would have thought that signing would be that bad. I would have never thought. Like if you said, hey, what's the worst case scenario with Allen Robinson coming to the Rams? I don't know.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
And at this stage...
Plays a little bit more than half the year, and half the year he played was, you know how many yards he has on the season? And it is, by the way, he's done for the year, so this is what he's going to have. You want to take a guess?
What does he have?
339 yards on the season. You know how many catches he's had? 33.
Oh, my God.
He's caught 33 passes. Through 10 games, he caught 33 passes. So he catches 3 passes a game. You know how many touchdowns he has this year?
Yeah.
3.
If we break that down per his contract, what is it per catch?
Quite a bit.
I want to know, what is it per touchdown?
Well, a lot. 3 touchdowns is certainly not going to do it. All right, the Lakers. Let's talk about a team that's a little hot, Slee. Lakers are a little hot. Should I get excited? That's next. Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time, what I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
is $1 Million Monday. Your chance at $1 million. Just wait for the cue to call. Be caller number 7. Give us your Super Bowl prediction, both teams, and the final score. And if that happens, you win $1 million. And just for playing, you win Rams tickets. $1 Million Monday all day long. Keep listening right here on 710 ESPN right now. More of Travis Lee.
Usually we wait till our $1 Million Monday winner comes around, but who you got? You saw Philadelphia looked really good again last night in the NFC. San Francisco wins again. Kansas City still feels like the pick on the other side.
They brought this up yesterday. They say if you could pick 2 teams in the NFC, and they threw out
I saw that.
Cowboys, Niners, Vikings, and Eagles.
Yep.
And instantly I felt like I had my answer. I'm going to keep doing what I've been saying, Cowboys and Niners.
Feels like it. I don't hate that. I really don't.
Why am I not
Eagles
sold?
are pretty good. They
Here's
ran
the
for, 350 yards or something crazy last night?
Stupid. Yeah, stupid. They are good, and I don't know why I lean towards that. Maybe because I've got a chance to see firsthand full game, right? You saw the Cowboys and the Rams, and I just saw the Cowboys dominate, and I saw that the defense was as good as it looks. The 49ers only getting better week in and week out. You kind of know what their potential is. You've seen them over the last couple of years, specifically last season and a half against the Rams. Maybe I lean more towards that because I've got a chance to watch those teams on a more consistent
basis. The
Niners
shut out the Saints yesterday, and the Saints just went right up and down the field on the Rams the week before. It just like everything comes back to the Rams and how much they're struggling right. Like every time you think, oh no, it's as bad as it's going to get, it actually somehow, some way gets a little bit more discouraging. It was tough.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I know. It's look, 6 more to go, including Christmas against the Broncos. I'm just gonna keep throwing that one out there. At what point post Thanksgiving are you like, all right, I'm kind of good on turkey for a while. I'm gonna not today.
I went turkey through Saturday.
Yesterday, no turkey.
No turkey yesterday.
It's first day for me too.
Oh,
no, I still got
lying. I had turkey
6
yesterday.
pounds of turkey in the fridge.
I had turkey yesterday.
Just a sandwich?
No, actually. Do you ever go to? So I'm driving back up. Whole Foods will do their hot bar, right?
Yeah,
like all these.
Yeah.
There are a lot of options.
Tons.
But they had like a Thanksgiving theme going on.
Is it still like $65 a scoop?
It's not 65. I think it's because of inflation. It's 83. Yeah, they do everything by the pound.
It's like, man.
No, you have to be strategic.
What a cost.
If you get turkey, let me give as an example. If you're going to get turkey or chicken,
it's heavy.
You got to find ways to not have the bone because the bone right there, that's high cost.
Good point.
All right. If you're going to go get rice, you got to be conscious on this. You're going to be paying the same amount for the rice that you're paying for the salmon.
Yeah, get the salmon.
Right? The pound. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it.
It's a lot.
I went and got turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and gravy yesterday when I was at Whole Foods.
Wait.
Yes.
You went and bought a Thanksgiving meal?
I went. I told you there's the hot bar.
Yeah.
This is yesterday. Yesterday, I
needed seconds.
No, I have all these other options.
No, I understand. But do you not have that stuff left at your house, or did you guys not get any leftovers?
I had those through Saturday. So by the time Sunday,
you still had an itch to scratch?
By the time Sunday came, that was done. Right. So there's nothing left there. So now I'm driving up. All I had was breakfast. It's like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I got pulled back into the turkey, to the stuffing.
You want to go poke bowl or something?
No, I went right back
salad, a sandwich,
nothing
else.
That's awesome.
And if I went home,
that's super super weird. But I really
if I went home today and I could have that same meal, I'd eat it and have no problem with it.
I don't get me wrong, I love it too, but when it's
enough is enough.
Yeah, enough is enough. That's like yesterday.
Apparently not.
Yesterday was the moment. I did my Emily worked from home yesterday.
Pizza. I could have this.
Had my my Albertsons sushi yesterday. That's kind of a reset. And then Kirk made the huge tactical error of mentioning a pizza before the end of the show. I'm like, well, now I know what I'm getting on the way home. Called Susan, said, have the pizza ready. I'm going to swing by. I'll pick it up on my way in. And
could have had Mexican food. Could have had anything.
Could have had really anything. The only thing that's an odd choice in that moment is more Thanksgiving food. Taylor, how was yours? We've heard from everybody. How was yours?
It was great. So I was going to do a Friendsgiving with a bunch of my friends that are transplants or people that live here in LA, but I said, F all that, I want to take a little road trip. So I got in my truck. My truck's been running finally.
Nice.
And I took a trip up the coast, went to Cambria.
Oh, wow.
And then on my way back, I visited the Vasquez Rocks, north of LA, kind of by Palmdale area. check them out, and had a good weekend.
Just a little solo trip, a little alone
solo
time?
trip, and
Nice.
then I saw my friends. So one of my friends, she was going to have her birthday party on a yacht, of all places.
Sure.
So
No.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah,
You don't have to tell us.
I wasn't
mean,
going to say no to that invite.
Yeah.
And it was disco themed, so I got a little dressed up for that. And
Did you go like Travolta, like white open
white
shirt?
pants?
Yeah.
White pants.
Excellent.
Open shirt. It was cold, but
white pants, no shirt.
at least I looked good. And then
White jacket, too?
I had a black jacket on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
You know-
look like a waiter?
Or
James
asking.
Bond. It's like when you do the white jacket and you either look great like James
Yep.
Bond or you look like
Either
a
a
waiter
girl
at
is
a
going to
catering
come,
event.
either a girl's going to come hit on you, or a guy is going to say, "Hey, could I get more of those?"
Can you refill the water? We're out of bread. Like, there really is no middle ground, right? You either look like a caterer or you look like James Bond. Those are
Hey,
the
I
only
would
options.
love to hang out, outside the yacht, and then the guy next to him is like, "Yeah, sounds good. Listen, the bathroom needs some paper towels. If you could get on that."
Send the server over. We got another drink order that we'd like to put in.
Did the yacht go out to sea, or did you guys just kind of stay where you were?
Just anchored in Marina Del Rey, just chilling there. Water was kind of choppy that night, and then had a
Oh
country
no, we
car-
know. I mean, yacht talk.
Yeah.
What is better?
First time on a yacht.
I'm not a boat person necessarily. I've only been on something I think like what you're describing maybe 2 or 3 times in my whole life. It feels like you are James Bond. Like the second you step foot onto that boat, you're like, I'm a pretty big deal. You feel like you're in Monaco. That just everything is like,
Yep.
no, I'm a big deal. I'm on a boat right now, and I don't know about the. You're standing
actually
on the
in
ground.
Long Beach. Okay.
No, not when you're on the boat. You are at sea. Even
That's
if
right.
it's
You're just
anchored
watching
to the pier,
Yeah.
it feels like you're off to a very, very exotic place, even if you never leave.
During this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of Americans fallen or disabled military and first responders. Events taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and purchase a green fee, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru. You're not wrong. You get on a boat and you're... Guys, we're basically recording a hip-hop video. I mean, I don't... This is Jay-Z here or no? Because this is basically what we're doing. Why else would we be on a boat?
So I'm trying to think. Boat is probably number one. The other thing is like super luxury hotel. Even if you just walk through the lobby, like, hey, check me out. I'm walking, like just walking through the JW over here. You feel 10% richer.
Oh, is there-
just walking
What
through
about
it.
a limo or
Is
like
that-
a
is
drive?
Limo's a really good one. Really good one.
That one of just, you go to the hotel lobby and you're just, they got the cucumber water.
Yeah.
You're just pouring that. It's like, no big deal. No,
Yeah.
and really just literally there's just cucumber slices in there. But for some reason you think this is the greatest thing in the world.
It's got gold leaf in it too. The hotel limo,
What
like
about
Emily
like a
said,
field access or a court access when you have like the badge? You get waved through.
it's a good one, but it
Yeah.
doesn't feel quite like those. You feel like you're special, but you don't necessarily feel like you're rich.
Because we're spoiled on that.
That could be
That
it
one
too.
we're
Have you guys ever had
spoiled
courtside seats at all?
Once.
I had it one time.
What about a
Once.
helicopter? You've been in a
I've
helicopter?
never been in a helicopter. Have you?
Did
Slee?
a helicopter tour. Did one of those in Hawaii.
You made it out alive?
Oh, those.
I did one in New York, and just looking down at all the ants.
Right.
The
Yep.
peasants.
That's the first thing. No, my feeling was I'm dizzy as hell, and when this thing goes down, that's going to be great.
Yeah, we've talked about. I don't like heights, so a helicopter would scare me to death.
It's
I don't
cool
think I
because
could enjoy
you
it.
would love the part where you're like in between these mountains, and then all of a sudden it just leans left and gets out of
No,
there.
I
would
not,
love that.
I can't say what I was going to say. My anatomy reacted a certain way just when you started to describe that. Like I had a certain amount of pucker factor that just you sang it. Never mind being in the helicopter. I want nothing to do with that. That sounds terrible.
You know what Taylor was missing?
I want to go from the luxury hotel, get in the limo to go to the party on the boat. That's like the hat trick of rich guy events.
So this is what you guys need to do. You guys need
Taylor's-
to watch that show White Lotus. It does all these things. And
I've
you
heard of
feel
that.
a little bit like you're fancy.
I've heard of that from a
I
couple
could just
people
live
now.
it, though.
Taylor, you know what you were missing on your road trip? I feel like you needed a rookie with you. You know?
Oh, yeah. I don't have a dog. I have a cat, but he doesn't really like to take
I think
it.
you like
What's
needed.
the cat's name?
Bender.
Bender.
Can
Yeah.
you rent a
Oh,
dog?
that's right, from Breakfast Club.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
feel like you should like rent a dog for those road trips. Just have the dog for good solid 24 hours, and then hand the dog back to its owner.
Dog's
What was
gonna
Rookie up to? Was he with you when the The tire accident happened?
No. Rookie would have lost it.
Thank
Rookie
goodness.
yesterday putting up some Christmas decorations. One thing falls, whatever. My girl loves putting up Christmas stuff. One thing falls. He runs out of the living room into the bedroom. I'm like, bro, what would happen if an intruder comes in?
Lick him to death.
No, he would be under the bed. He wants nothing to do with it.
I'm glad Rookie's safe. I'm glad he wasn't in the car. I'm
Rookie's
glad
okay.
you're safe. I'm oddly intrigued by the process of you getting your car back. That it's just sitting in a body shop in El Cajon waiting to get fixed.
And I can't get the other fog. I can't get the other light.
You know what they're going to do? Hey, listen, it's holidays. We're a little short staffed. Are they still claiming supply chain issues? Is that still something that happens? You may never get it back.
When it's convenient, supply chain issues is always there.
Yeah, supply. Well, we kind of passed. No. The specifically bumpers are on back order.
Can we use that excuse? Medic, I get a day off supply chain.
I want more things that make me feel fancy. 877-710-3776. You can tweet at us, too, at Travis Rogers, at Alan Sliwa. Factor Cap coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Okay, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it's time for Factor Cap.
It's so cap, Dad.
Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go back.
First of all, it's not a cap. It's
no, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys, sorry to disappoint you, but there was no stump game this week. There was a very competitive cornhole competition between my cousins, which I could not participate in, but I did help with some play-by-play with my family. But it was fun. It was good, but yeah, no stump game. There was enough.
Why no stump?
There was not enough nails. There was the nail.
Pull them out of the
infrastructure was
house.
low. I know, exactly. Probably should have done that, but next year. So Lincoln Riley, after his big win on Saturday, he kind of was responding to some trolls on Twitter and other people that were kind of saying that the USC team would not win. So it's healthy to keep receipts. Travis, Factor Cap.
I'm going to go Cap. I don't really do that too much because did you see Lamar Jackson get hooked yesterday on Twitter?
Yeah.
It's just I don't get it, right? There's no win in that. Now he's going to have to double back and apologize, whatever it is. And if you carry that, I don't mind carrying it around in the sense that, okay, you don't think I can do this, let me go show you. But to double back on it really doesn't do it for me. I'm all for using it as motivation, using it as, oh, you don't think that we got a chance to win X, Y, or Z. But to carry it around and throw it back, I just would rather keep it going and just keep winning and pretend that I don't know who you are.
Well, here's the funny thing, and I fall more along the lines of Cap on this one as well. Bro, you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
You're doing it. There's nothing that needs to be said. You are one win away from making the college football playoff, and I'm just talking specifically about Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
And I don't hate on it. I think there's maybe something to it. People that have, didn't think that SC would turn it around this quick. But I don't think. I think a lot of times you don't have to say anything. I think your work can speak for you, and his work has spoken for him.
It absolutely has. And the second, and again, when you're at the top of the hill, like Lincoln Riley is at the moment,
yeah,
I don't like to shoot down, right? I always shoot up. Always shoot at somebody that's more important than you, not less important.
Football fans want to win.
The best thing is, I don't know who you are. Why would I didn't know you exist until
it gives some credence to whoever it is. Yeah.
And anytime you acknowledge somebody, even if you're acknowledging, like, remember you got that wrong, it's like, yeah, whatever, but you're talking to me. I'm not talking to you. I always like the dismissiveness much more than the reaction.
I'm going to start going after Lincoln Riley just to see if I could get a response.
Maybe.
Get him on the show. Taylor, what about you?
Fact, yeah, I think receipts are important. It's also important not to leave receipts sometimes. But in relationships, if somebody's saying something that never happened, or if they're contradicting what they said earlier, you can just show them the receipts.
Gotcha.
Helpful sometimes.
Not
I
necessarily
could see
always
you
the
having like a
healthiest,
sheet
but
of paper, just writing it down.
Excel spreadsheet.
Screenshots.
Well, yeah, I'm going to email you something. And
On
it just has the whole
May
thing.
17th, 2014, you told me.
This is why I'm single.
There's a new Progressive commercial, I think, about this now, where they do like the real replay, where they go
It's
back.
pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So there's this band called the 1975, and they're kind of a more experimental in their concert structure. So they've been having fans come up on stage and they kiss them and they go back down on stage. So one of the women that came up on stage was married, and apparently Maddie Healy, the lead singer, was her hall pass. So having a hall pass is a recipe for disaster. Alan, fact or cap?
It's a fascinating concert. It's very interesting there. Fact. I think it's, hey, that's funny. Oh, you could have that conversation. Oh, yeah, you really think she's that pretty? Yeah, okay, what do you like about cool? But an actual hall pass sounds like an absolute disaster because I don't know what you do after. What happens after? I think that relationship probably not going to go too much further after that. I'm going to say that's a disaster.
I'm with Al. I have very little to add to that other than what you said, because the idea of, yeah, sure, if you ever run into Brad Pitt, knock yourself out. Right up until it happens, like, well, now what do I do?
Well, you told me.
George Brett's my hall pass. Just like to hang out and have a few beers with him.
Taylor?
Fernando's your hall pass.
It's one thing if she met Healy like in a hotel room or something, but this is in front of the whole world, and I mean, it's all the more humiliating for the guy.
It's never going to end well. Either way, like, look, if Lindsay Lohan
hall
was down at LA Live,
Salma Hayek.
Hey, you never know.
Lindsay Lohan feels more achievable than previously. When I put her on the list, it was a different time. Let's just leave it at that.
All right, so LeBron James this morning tweeted and then subsequently deleted this tweet, but I'm going to read it anyway. So being corny / chasing clout is the gold standard.
I'm sorry, Emily, chasing what?
Clout?
Okay.
Is the gold standard. It's literally rewarded these days. I didn't come up like this. It's so weird, man. Corny as hell. So being corny is a pet peeve of yours. Taylor, fact or cap?
When I'm doing it or when other people are doing it?
When other people are corny, it's a pet peeve of yours.
Yeah, like the Russell Wilsons of the world. Fact.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Travis?
Yeah, I was going to ask for a definition of what corny is, but I've got it. Yes. Russell Wilson was all I needed. Yes. Yes. It seems like his teammates are really enjoying the Russell Wilson experience. Yeah, being around a guy that is artificial from the moment he walks into the building until the moment he puts his head on the pillow at night would become a little tiresome. I did like that nose guard nearly tore his face off. That was fun to watch.
Al?
I'll go Cap on this one. I think of the term corny in a couple different ways. Somebody could tell a corny joke, right? Something like the Russell Wilson thing.
Joke.
Yeah, the Russell Wilson thing is very specific. And I know how everybody here feels about Russell Wilson. I just don't pay as much attention to it. Like, it doesn't bother me as much as it might bother somebody else. You guys have brought him up a lot. I don't think it doesn't kind of affect me or bother me as much as it does others, so Cap for me.
All right, so I think we all saw this yesterday during the Rams game, but Sean McVay got ran over by his own teammate.
He got smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if that was you, if you were Sean McVay, you would have taken the L and gone to the blue tent after that and made an excuse to leave. Travis, Patrick, Cap.
Every ounce of my being would have wanted to say fact to that, because it's like, look, this is because it wasn't like you saw. Guys saw Nick Saban get cut too. It's kind of similar. They got cut by a shoulder pad and he was bleeding a little bit. That was more of a scratch. McVay got smoked. He got hit really, really hard by Roger Carter to the point where he literally could have been concussed if he got hit that hard. But you can't leave. Every ounce of me would be saying, just get the hell out of here. I don't need to watch this, but you can't leave. So I'll go Cap.
It was so early on, too, in the game.
It was the opening. They kick off. It's a touchback. No time off the clock. It's the first play, and McVay gets his bell ring. I
By the way, isn't that just another...
Perfect.
Of course. Yeah, of course that happens. I'll go fact on this one. Let me give you a good example. Have you guys ever seen, like, a sideline reporter who's got their back turned to the game?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a player comes, and it's just the flow of the game, and a player hits them. Or a cameraman get hit while all he's trying to do is just...
Work?
Just work. Bro, some people get hit hard. And if you're somebody, like you're a cameraman or something like that, and you're not paying any attention to it, I don't know. It's going to take a second. I got to see what my injuries are.
A cameraman can lead. The head coach of the team can't
Head coach, you're right. The head coach is different. But if you're just working in some type of, it's kind of similar situation for him, right? He's working. That's his job. Somebody else, if I'm a sideline reporter and a 250-pound linebacker gets me from behind, hits me in the back, I'm out for 6 to 8 weeks.
That's one of those things. You're doing this. You're rubbing your jaw. You're moving it back and forth for, a couple of weeks after that? He's not going to be able to chew his food for who knows how long.
Hiring an attorney.
He got hit hard.
Yeah.
Let me paint this picture. So you're in our pre-show meeting, or you're coming to the pre-show meeting. Travis is trying to leave with one of these doors, accidentally hits Sliwa in the head.
Yeah.
Would you want to, not do the show that day if you're...
That's a good point.
concussed?
Yeah, I'm out 2 weeks.
And suing ESPN for a door that's too heavy.
Taylor?
Cap, I think if you're McVay, you got to keep the respect of your team, and staying there is a good idea if you want to do that. I mean, he's a former football player; he can take a hit, right? It's not like it's,
if he's a soccer player, he'd
like
still
Don
be down.
Zimmer. And in baseball, I mean, they wear the same uniform. The managers wear the same uniform. Maybe in football, they should do that too.
That's a good point. 2 weeks, I'm out.
He needs a helmet.
2 weeks.
I have some people weighing in about, things that make you feel fancy, so we can talk about it on the other side as well.
I like it.
Those are interesting to me.
I need to add it to my day of hotel, limo, boat, and maybe a private jet to fly somewhere after I do the boat.
Sometimes wearing just a nice suit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a great one. That's a very good one.
Your chest is out.
It's nicely pressed. You're feeling pretty.
You with the Mandy's.
Shoes are shined.
That's right.
Right? That's a great day. That is a great day. Plus, we got to get in Lakers. The Rams have lost 7 of 8. The Lakers have won 5 of 6. Should I get excited? That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710.
ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
Million Dollar Mondays.
Million Dollar Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win a mill.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on Million Dollar Mondays.
Million Dollar Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
It's not going to cost you anything. Have you downloaded the all-new ESPNLA app yet? Just search ESPNLA in your App Store or Google Play. It literally costs nothing and brings so much enjoyment. Download, tap, bam! You got Travis and Sliwa in the palm of your hand. All the podcasts. Listen live with just one tap. It's all right there. Get the new ESPNLA app to celebrate Cyber Monday. Right now, we celebrate with more Travis and Sliwa on 710.
So, a couple of seconds ago, we were talking about our Thanksgivings, and Taylor was talking about how he went on a yacht for his Thanksgiving. So
fancy.
That's very Thanksgiving.
And so we were talking about things that make us feel fancy, and you don't kind of know why all the time. So Aaron Palmer, I tweeted this out in the Travis and Sliwa Show community, so add to that if you aren't a part of it. But Aaron Palmer says, passed hors d'oeuvres at a party, so like when someone is passing out hors d'oeuvres, is something that makes you feel fancy. Poolside massages, ice in bathrooms, like ice in your urinals. I guess that's something that happens to you.
Oh, that's a steakhouse, nice restaurant.
Always, it feels oddly old school too, like you're going back in time.
It is.
That is a real treat.
Oh no, when I walk into a restroom, if there is ice there, all of a sudden, like I tuck my shirt in, my
Do you try to make the perfect hole, or do you try to melt as much as you can?
And is there always an attendant there too?
Because look, Emily, I'm sorry you don't understand this. And
Can I
good for you.
First off, let me just say something to what you just said. Yeah, you're right. on both of those.
I know. It's one or the other. You try to make the perfect hole all the way to the bottom, or you try to melt as much of it as you can.
Sometimes I want to just see everything move around.
I like the hole, and then you try to make it a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger, and then sometimes you just try to melt as much as you can.
Continue.
Taylor?
I was in the South one time, and I saw an ashtray in a bathroom stall, and I felt pretty fancy there.
And that's got the
We'll stay with the restroom here for a quick second. How about when they have actual towels?
Oh, yeah.
Actual towels, right?
Yeah, actual
the towels are,
well,
please.
Is there anything?
Don't mind me.
How great is it? How satisfying
Ready
is it
to take a shower.
Drop it in that little basket on your way out the door? Feels like just,
By the way, put it in the basket.
Yes.
Some people are putting it in the trash. I'm like,
No,
guys.
in the bathroom, wash it and use it again.
What about at a gym, like a gym you pay for? If they have towels too, if like you don't have to bring your own towel to the gym for showers,
It's a big
nice.
thing. Big thing. You go to a nice gym and they have shaving cream and they have aftershave.
Sure.
And they have all that. You feel.
Sometimes I feel like I want to shave even though I don't
You
need
feel
one.
a
It's just
certain
like,
way.
I just want to use that blue water with the comb. I feel fancy. I want to do all that stuff.
And then Aaron also said champagne greeting at a party or hotel.
Great.
Also very fancy.
Always a great one.
Send
Those
more
are good ones.
to. And I tweeted it at the Travis and Sliwa Show community, so send it in there.
Can I tell you something? That I think almost everything that she just mentioned there was when I went back to Washington, D.C. for that wedding. I think it was all on that list. Like, all of that. It was a good party.
Yeah, you said that was a baller.
It was a fancy party.
Baller wedding.
Yeah. We should renew the vows there every 6 months or so. Just go back and knock it out again.
Years ago, I went to a wedding. A friend of mine got married, and they had just for appetizers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the appetizers was your before you actually go into the ballroom. Okay, so they'll let's say open up the ballroom doors at 6 p.m. So from 5 to 6 during the cocktail hour and everything else, straight up lobster, shrimp, ice, and it was almost like you felt like you were at Whole Foods, and you were just looking at you're kind of like picking. Bro, that was
By the way, you just said one just a cocktail hour in general is always a baller moment where you just like, hey, before we go drink and eat even more, why don't we just hang out here and just have a few cocktails and some past hors d'oeuvres for an hour or so?
Why does also too, if it's the right wedding, right, the open bar and it's good quality liquor. I got this round. You got this round. Nobody's paying.
DC wedding had that too. Just saying.
I have one more tweet. It's from Rich A. He says, things that make him feel fancy is when a restaurant asks if he wants still or sparkling. Automatically starts you off at, it's a little fancier.
It is. I always go still. And you guys know how much I like my club soda, my bubble water. But I don't know. I feel like I'm getting taken advantage of.
Getting fleeced.
Now I'll go buy glasses of wine left and right and not think twice, but I don't want that $2 for the bubbles in the water. I'm drawing a line right there, Slee. We're not doing that. The Lakers are hot. Is that fair? 5 out of 6 is hot. I know that the opponents are not the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston
Celtics. It took me a second to grasp all that. Lakers are hot.
5 out of 6
took a second.
Is hot. Am I wrong?
I think hot sounds like that sounds too much for me for some reason. The 5 of 6 that's
what it is.
That's great. Hot sounds like they've won. I don't know. I guess the term hot for me is they've won 6 in a row and they're smashing teams and they're going through some really good teams. You're not wrong, but it just takes me a second. I have not described that in my own head.
I didn't
that
say
way.
that they're good. I said that they're hot, and there's a difference between those two things, right? Because they might be better than we thought. I'm still not ready to say that they're good because you're going to need to see them beat somebody that's like the Suns. That's the 5, and not the 6 out of 6. But they are hot, and they're hot mostly because Anthony Davis has been transcendent. He looked like the guy that you were hoping you were going to get when you made that trade a few seasons ago. The guy that is on the short list of best player in the league, a guy that can single-handedly win you a game, a guy that can say, hey, listen, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get near 40 points and get 20 boards, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Your only chance is you're going to need to do a little bit more. He's been that guy for a couple of weeks. I get it. It's 2 weeks, but it's been a long time since we've seen it, and I'm enjoying it.
He had a stretch here. He didn't play in the last one, right? Lakers had San Antonio Friday and Saturday. He didn't play in the last one.
They're up in the series 3-0, I believe, right?
They're up 3-0.
They can close them out the next time they play.
Dominated them. Dominated the Spurs. He had a stretch where he was 30-plus and 15-plus in 4 straight games. In the one game he didn't have that, he was 25 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
So even in that game with LeBron coming back, kind of turned it on the second half. I've been saying this in the pregame show, and I know this is just, and in the postgame show as well, this is not trying to be dramatic. For a 2-week stretch, he was the best player in the NBA. Okay? For a 2-week stretch.
LeBron thinks so. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Well, the guys played some good basketball when I was out. I thought AD was the best player in the league over the last 4 or 5 games. With, just his numbers and productivity, both on both sides of the floor. It's not just offensively, but defensively. He's been super engaged, and tonight, once again, he was amazing.
Okay, so the only reason why I kind of like that setup is because if I'd have told you 3 weeks ago, hey, Trav, AD is going to be the best player in the league for the next 2 weeks, you said, Al, come on.
Stop.
Right. Are you really still doing this?
Stop. Yeah.
Right? And I'm not sitting here trying to make a case. I didn't see Giannis the last 2 weeks. I didn't see Luka the last 2 weeks. I didn't see specifically what they were doing. AD was the best player in the NBA for the last 2 weeks. That game against the Spurs on Friday night, okay? Or was that? Yeah, I think it was a Friday. He had a game where it was 38, 21, 5, and 5. The 5 being steals and blocks.
Sure.
Okay? He was just amazing. And he went to a stretch where I really do think it kind of gives you some hope here to say, okay, is he finally healthy? Is he finally not thinking anymore about, injuries or any of that stuff? Because for 2 straight seasons, we didn't have a stretch like that.
Right.
We didn't.
Right.
They're about to go on this. You got 2 games coming up here. Indiana tonight, Portland coming up on Wednesday.
2 games you can win.
2 games you can win, and 2 decent teams.
Yeah.
They're both in kind of the thick of the East and the West. After that, get ready for Giannis, and get ready for Embiid, and get ready for this 6-game road
trip.
Do
they play the Celtics on that trip?
Not that one.
Okay.
Later in the month.
Yeah.
They have, December is just brutal. There's a lot of tough games. We'll find out a lot more about the Lakers, but I haven't been able to say this and be genuine about it. I'm actually really looking forward to tonight's game.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a stretch right now, Lakers basketball, that, hey, let me see some more. Can they get to, by the time they go on that road trip, Trav, remember the 20-game mark, 25% of the season, we're there by Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday's 25% of the season. Could they be 9-11? And when they started out the season 2-10,
you would have never thought
that
was possible.
Like that was, come on, let's stop kidding ourselves.
Dreams.
And they could potentially be there. I'm not saying that they got layups coming up, but I actually even like that the competition is decent these next couple of games to gauge where they're at.
I want to come back and I want to continue this conversation because there's something that's happened in these last 4 or 5 games for Anthony Davis that has nothing to do with stats that has me very, very excited about it. We'll do that when we come back. Listen here, right? Call in right now. If you call in right now and you are caller number 7, here's your phone number, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776. If you are caller number 7, you will win a 4-pack of tickets to the Pac-12 championship game featuring USC against Utah. It is this Friday at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It is a 5 p.m. kickoff. Tickets, discount, hotel, and airfares are available at pac12-.com tickets. It's pac-12.com/tickets. 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-3776, and good luck.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time, what I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
And here we go. Travis Rogers, Alan Sliwa. Travis and Sliwa is on for your Monday. We're here each weekday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We begin 9 hours of LA sports talk all day long. Welcome back, yo. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. It feels like it's been so long. I don't even kind of remember how to do these, I think. But I'll figure it out. First, let us begin with USC on Saturday night at the Coliseum against Notre Dame.
Joystick on the move again. Are you kidding me? Caleb Williams dancing, cutting, mesmerizing run by the quarterback, finally dragged down at the 20. It's a highlight reel tonight.
USC plays in the Pac-12 championship game against Utah Friday night, and then bam, hopefully well on their way to the playoff. It is Randy Newman's 79th birthday today. He's the one that put this song together and sang it. We play this for the Lakers. A winning weekend, yo. You know Sliwa was excited, eating turkey leftovers, rewatching the two Lakers games from the weekend yesterday. But did he see his Raiders? A walk-off win again. And yeah, the Rams, tough day in Arrowhead, but actually they put up a better fight than we all thought. Except McVay's face when he got clobbered by his player's helmet. Did you see that? Let's get to it. Welcome back, Travis and Sliwa. Your Monday right now.
Welcome back, indeed. Hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the holiday season right around the corner. Slee, it's this last month of the year, it goes by in like 5 minutes.
I know.
It goes by
Can
so
I tell you
quick.
something depressing? Not that I don't know why I'm setting it up.
Can't
that way.
wait.
College football. I'm like,
basically
wait a minute,
over.
it's done?
Yeah.
It's basically done.
Yeah.
And the NFL, listening on Sunday night or watching Sunday Night Football, and they're already talking about only a few weeks left in the year. I'm like, don't tell me that.
What's your favorite events left? The CFP is left, Al.
You are a huge college football fan.
I was so depressed yesterday, too. I thought I was going to go. Am I right or wrong? Is the Rose Bowl always on January 1st?
Unless January 1st falls on a Sunday and then it's on the 2nd.
Son of a. I was getting ready to buy tickets. I've never been. I think I told you I've never been to a Rose Bowl. I've never been to the actual Rose Bowl game.
Uh-huh.
And I looked at the Lakers schedule. They got the 31st and the 1st off.
Okay.
I'm like,
do they play the 2nd?
Play the 2nd.
Oh no, do they really?
So I looked at it and I don't even care about the matchup. I
wouldn't even let you eat some of my tailgate.
What I was thinking. I was like, I don't even have to do anything. I just go to Travis's tailgate. Freaking eat everything there.
Yeah.
I'm already in Pasadena, and I look at the schedule. I'm starting to look at tickets. I'm like, wait, the 2nd? They're not playing on the 2nd.
If
They're playing
January
on the
1st falls on a Sunday, the game gets moved to the following Monday.
Thanks, Rose Bowl.
Yeah, well, you can thank the city of Pasadena.
Thanks, Pasadena.
Your fine municipality is on the hook for that one. Congratulations to Brandon in Pomona. Brandon won a pair of tickets to go see Utah and USC in the Pac-12 championship. That's coming up on Friday. And It really is pretty remarkable, Slee, that in 1 year, Lincoln Riley was able to do what he's done. We'll get into that. Caleb Williams, okay, real quick. Let's say he has a clunker in the Pac-12 championship game. Okay, I don't think he will. He's a terrific
But they
player.
win?
Yes, but they win. Okay, either way, win or lose. Is there something that could happen on Friday night where he doesn't win the Heisman Trophy? I'm not sure there is. I think he's got it in his back pocket.
It would be his only bad game of the year. He hasn't had a bad game so far.
He really
even the
hasn't.
loss was not bad by
he
him.
just has no. He was actually really good in that loss.
Right.
It would have to take a really bad game. They get their what's kicked by Utah. That kicks them out of the college football playoff. A lot would have to go wrong, and he probably still is set up to win it.
Because there's no one else that's just kind of sitting there. C.J. Stroud was the other guy that felt like he was kind of and then they got trounced.
Yeah, he had a bad
Everything
Saturday.
that needed to break SC's way did. Everything needed to go. They took care of business against Notre Dame. He had a national coming out party. Not that they haven't had national games, but that's 2 weeks in a row where you're like, oh, he's the best player in the country. Against UCLA, against Notre Dame. Ohio State loses at home by 22 points, so they're done.
Yep.
LSU loses to a bad A&M team. That's their third loss. So going into the SEC championship game, even if they pull a huge upset, they're not going. Georgia still goes. They just need to beat Utah.
You know how sometimes you say it's his to lose? We're talking about the Heisman.
Yeah.
You're right that it's really tough to make a case against him, even if things didn't go as planned. I think SC is going to win. I think they're going to – I think they'll – the fact that it's Utah again, I think, is of benefit to them because you lost to that team by one. They just got to handle business for more weeks.
The downside to Utah is that Utah will do everything that they need to do to be a tough out.
Muddy the water,
They won't commit a bunch of penalties.
Yeah.
They won't turn it over.
Yep.
They'll do all of those things that make it very hard to just – because, look, SC took it away from Notre Dame. SC took it away, 4 times against UCLA? It's going to be harder to do against Utah.
Especially the timing of when they get their takeaways, too, is at the end of the game when it matters most, when they're getting some of these takeaways.
So where does Caleb Williams line up for you in this pantheon of USC quarterbacks? So you guys have been here for longer and you guys have seen more of this stuff, but comparative to the Carson Palmer and the Matt Leinart, it's where does Caleb Williams right now in this 1 year stand for you guys?
It's really different. It's because you have Palmer, Leinart, and those guys are Heisman Trophy winners. They've had other really good quarterbacks come through here, whether it's Rodney Peete or Paul McDonald or Mark Sanchez, John David Booty. They've had some of these guys come through that have been very, very good. And Keaton's are not. Who's the kid that Matt Barkley? They had good SC quarterbacks. And they kind of came through it, right? You knew they were here. Maybe they played as a freshman. Maybe they didn't. They were good. This dude just showed up and was, I'm the best player in the country. It feels different, but as far as what he does on the field, it's exactly the same as those guys. He's putting up numbers that are second to none.
Does he feel more like a hired hand because he wasn't acquired from USC from the start?
Next year could feel different, Al. Don't you think that if he comes back, and he's coming back, right?
Yeah.
Because he's not draft eligible until 2024. If he comes back and gives he doesn't have to win the Heisman Trophy again. But if he comes back and does, it's like, okay, we see it's familiar. You've seen him in the field, in the uniform with this team. And by the way, this is going to be kind of SOP in college football moving forward. Travis Dye was one of the best running backs in Oregon. He's on SC. Spencer Rattler was at Oklahoma. He's at South Carolina, got a couple of wins. Caleb Williams is here. These guys move around a ton.
So that's the difference.
It's the new normal.
That's the difference is, we talked about SC a couple different times. Part of the reason why they're good right now, part of the reason why it's not just Lincoln Riley coming to USC. And I'm not saying that he didn't pull the weight because he came. That's the first one that's kind of the trigger effect of it.
Sure.
But it is the transfer portal. And it is basically free agency.
And he got the right guys.
And it's basically free agency. So when we're comparing to other past USC quarterbacks, Caleb Williams, if you didn't know much about him 4 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, maybe SC is not. Maybe you live in L.A., but you're not paying that close attention to college football. Today, you know exactly who he is. You know what he brings to the table, which leads me into next year, now that you actually got X amount of weeks with him, now that you got a full offseason with him, his name is only going to get bigger and brighter in L.A.
The biggest difference between him and these other guys, and time will tell, and I'm putting the cart way ahead of the horse here. He feels like he has a skill set that will translate to become a much better NFL player than these other guys we're talking about, with the exception of Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer was a terrific NFL quarterback. Put up big numbers, was on an MVP shortlist a couple of different times. But the rest of those SC quarterbacks were not good NFL players. They were somewhere between average to well below average. You look at this guy, he's big. He's fast. He's athletic. He can run. He can throw from the pocket.
First, too.
He's smart. Like, he doesn't take hits. He gets down on all of the things. Like, if you're saying, build me a quarterback, it's number 13 right there. I don't need to build you one. It's right there.
And you think about the other Lincoln Riley quarterbacks that have gone to the NFL with him. It's Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. They looked great, and they were
Don't
super
forget
exciting.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, yes. And they all, Baker Mayfield aside, have had somewhat of success in the NFL. So hopefully, again, that is a Lincoln Riley thing that carries over for Caleb Williams as well.
A lot of times in college, these coaches will just take advantage of, I'm just trying to win in this league. I don't care what you end up doing. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just trying to win right now. He has a tendency to throw first, which I like, which will obviously work in the NFL. And you just pointed out, if you go look at any of those SC highlights from this weekend, this is a stupid thing to point out, but I'll point it out.
He's sliding. You don't get to hit him.
So
you know who else never gets hit? Patrick Mahomes never gets hit. He slides. Did you see yesterday with Aaron Donald where he pops up? He's like, "Hey man, no way. You don't get to hit me. I'm getting down on the ground."
After he did everything, he scrambled. Notre Dame doesn't know what to do. He goes, he looked like he ran 80 yards in a play, and it was only a net gain of 20 or whatever it was, 25. He slid.
Yep.
Right there, I'm like, yeah, it's a really smart play.
He gets it. And the Oklahoma thing that you were talking about, Emily, you left a part of this out. Mayfield and Murray are little. The list of good NFL quarterbacks who are little is really short.
Yeah.
It's incredibly. It's literally one guy long. It's Drew Brees. He's kind of the only one.
And Russell Wilson for a time period.
But Russell Wilson's not short like those guys are.
Doug Flutie, a small guy, but he's not this. He's not
half
considered
his life in Canada.
Right.
It's I get it, yes, but Caleb Williams is not a little guy. Caleb Williams has all of those things, and you start to look around the rest of the NFL, and you start to see Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford, some of these guys that are on the other side of their 30th birthday, in some cases 40th birthday. These guys stand in the pocket, they look down the field, they deliver the football. You look at the young guys now, who are Mahomes, Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Tua. Like, you got to go through it. They're not running quarterbacks in the sense like Michael Vick was a running quarterback.
Even Justin Herbert.
They can move their feet.
Buy a little time.
They can get out of the way.
I could go get a first down for 7 yards, and then, okay, we're on to the next play. They're just enough. I mean, some of them are real threats that can run anytime, but they're just enough of a threat to where it's, okay, I got to respect that this guy can get those yards to go get a first. And that's maybe the evolution of the quarterback.
It went from you have to be a guy that's in the pocket to if you're in a pocket, you can move around a little bit, but don't have a running quarterback to, either one of these things will work, to now, think about it. Who is a young quarterback in the NFL that stands there in the pocket and just surveys the field and delivers the football? There's really only one that I can think of. It's Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the only guy who's a relatively young player who just stands there
in the pocket,
and looks down and throws the ball. They're not moving him around. Every other guy that's come off the board early, they're not all good, but they all kind of fit into that. I think Kyler Murray kind of not a very good player, but they're all of that mode where, yes, I can throw from the pocket, but I can also create something with my legs, and Caleb Williams is that dude. And, oh, by the way, he's huge and fast and really smart. Can't wait. So you've said this a million times. It is so exciting to have a college football team here again that is, A, really good, but B, exciting to watch.
They're the best product of football right now in L.A., period. It's not even close. They're the best product of football in L.A. The Rams played yesterday. The Chargers played yesterday. Neither team, in my opinion, at this stage, right, relevant. Rams were carrying that weight for a long time, and now all of a sudden Saturday football has become what most SC fans and most college football fans were hoping for.
And UCLA's sixth best team in the Pac-12. I can't help it. It just feels it's like just kind of cute. They almost lost to Cal. I wanted it to happen so badly. It didn't happen, but I was pulling for it. Strike quick phone call here. Let's go to Valencia and Lou. Lou, you're on with Travis Lee. What's going on?
Hey, it's Lewis. Hey, yeah, man, it's so exciting to be a USC fan right now. I was telling Emily, like, in your first year, you've gotten the Golden Shillelagh back, the Victory Bell back. You beat UCLA and Notre Dame in the same year for the first time since 2016. We are going to the Pac-12 championship. If we win the Pac-12 championship, you're going to the playoff. And, oh, by the way, we're probably going to put the Heisman back in Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall gets the Heisman, the Golden Shillelagh, and we get the Golden Bell back, or the Victory Bell. Like, they've literally checked every single box in Lincoln Riley's first year. This is insane.
It really is. It really is, Lewis. Thanks for the call. They got to win on Friday. If they lose on Friday, all of this is a really good year, but damn, we're
deflated.
It
actually goes
deflated.
back to what Greg was saying a couple weeks ago, where he's like, well, I get that if before the season started, you would have said, all right, you got this far or you won this many games, you'd have been like, oh, great, what an awesome season. But you've already got this far. Get a little greedy.
We've come this far. Let's finish the deal.
Yeah.
We've finished the deal. The only thing, again, with the giant caveat of they need to win on Friday.
Yeah.
After that, let's go see if we can win the national championship, which seems absurd.
But
which seems absurd. But
hey, if you get in the tournament,
it's there.
You're in the damn tournament,
and you got the best player on the field. No matter who you're playing, I got the best player. It's not basketball where that could be Steph Curry at Davidson. It's not quite like that. Yeah. But if I have the best player, I've always got a chance.
And it would be home field advantage.
Yeah, in the finals it would be.
Yeah.
The other semis are in Arizona and
I don't know where the other one is.
Atlanta?
Gotta look it up.
I think it's Atlanta. I think it's Arizona and Atlanta are the
it's
two.
in Qatar.
Who did they pay? Who did they set up?
Nobody. No, this just naturally
all
every 4 years.
Lottery.
Portugal
it's a
took
lottery.
1-0 lead here.
Ronaldo
It's a lottery.
Ronaldo again?
Yeah.
5 World Cups he scored in.
What if they opened up the college football championship to other countries?
Well, I know where it would be. They got nice stadiums over there. New subway system.
SC, Utah, Pac-12 championship in Russia.
Doha.
Sochi.
The Lakers and the Pacers tonight. Buddy Hield and Miles Turner in the house. Are they going to stay? It's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
$710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
Money all the time. What I'm thinking.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Million Dollar Monday on 710 ESPN. All football season, your chance at $1 million each Monday. We got caller number 7, yo. Let's find out who's on the line right now.
All right, you heard it right there. Caller number 7 is going to win a pair of tickets to the Raiders and the Rams on December 8th and a shot at $1 million. Caller, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Caesar Zamora, calling from Brea.
All right, Caesar Zamora in Brea. What is your $1 million prediction?
I'll go ahead and take the Eagles 21, Chiefs 17, and I'll take the Eagles.
All right, Eagles over the Chiefs, 21-17. Caesar Zamora in Brea. Congratulations.
Listen every Monday for $1 Million Monday this football season on LA's Mega $1 Million sports station.
Everybody's got a price.
710 ESPN.
Got to go chalk right now, right? This is the time of the year where you got to play a little bit of game theory. Eagles and Chiefs are the top 2 seeds in their conferences. Caesar went a little low scoring, 21-17, but
got a little higher.
Super Bowl can be, you never know what you're going to get quite in a Super Bowl. I like that pick. Good job, Caesar.
Yeah, who am I to give some advice? I did awful again this week, didn't I? It was bad.
Did Greg pick for me?
He did.
On Tuesday?
How
did he do?
Hold on. You're going to be pleased, Emily.
Okay, good.
Should have Berg pick for me.
Hold on. Let me find week 12 here. Don't forget, you got another chance, $1 Million Monday. Mason and Ireland today, Sedano and Cap as well. Emily, I don't know if this counts as a weekly win for you, but you and Taylor both had 5 points.
All right.
So not a great week for anybody, but you guys do have you split the overall weekly win. You each get 5. I had 4. Man, what did I tell you when we were doing the picks about my 4 spot? I've been making money with USC all season long.
That's right.
It's the only game I won.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
you kind of threw everybody off with your Rams pick.
Yeah.
Remember, you set it all up, and you're like,
Didn't cover it.
I'll take Rams.
They almost did.
I know.
I mean, not almost, but it's still kind
close
of
enough within the
balance.
ballpark.
Slee, you had 3.
I had 3 guys.
You had 3.
This year, I think I saw the stat that USC has only not covered the spread like twice. It's pretty impressive.
I thought she was going to say, I thought she had a stat for my picks. I thought she was going to say, this year I looked at the stats. Al, you're not good.
So the tally, as we sit here through 12 weeks of the season, I still have the lead, but it's very, very narrow right now. It's 67. Emily is in second with 63. Al, you're still in third, but again, the lead has gotten a little thinner
closer
for you.
Yeah.
You have 55, and Taylor is within striking distance at 48. DeMarco Farr still has 1, and Greg Berman has 5.
Thanks, Greg.
It's a good week for Berg.
Yeah, considering he got 0 the last time he did it, that was a little bit better.
I'm just going to look moving forward on my – I'm just going to look at the cover 5. That's it. I'm out on everything
That's
else.
a better one. I am working at a little bit of a disadvantage in our picks because I take the Rams every week. It feels like I'm basically punting on the 1-point game a lot, and Kansas City felt like a pretty good bet right there. But what are you going to do? So we were talking about AD and the impact he's had on the team, and that he's averaging 30-plus points and X amount of rebounds. And the statistics have been terrific. Throwing no shade at the statistics at all. But I care less about that than the eye test, right? That for the first time in a long time, Al, AD's out there, and you watch the game for 30 seconds. Oh, he's the best player. You don't have to watch the whole game. You just need to watch little pockets here and there.
Yep.
And him right there. You got first pick. Who do you want? I want that guy. I want him. I want Anthony, and it's not close. We haven't said that about him in a really, really long time. And look, I get it. They're playing bad teams. I get it that he's kind of been on his own for a good chunk of this, that LeBron's, working his way back from an injury. He's finally back. But I can't remember the last time I saw him look pain-free, loose, free, and just, I'm the best player here, and you can all get in line behind me. And it's been so fun to watch.
So this is actually kind of funny to put these last 2 weeks together, because there's the optimism of what AD's been doing. There's optimism that the Lakers have won 5 of their last 6 games. There's the optimism that they got a chance here, 2 games here at home against the Pacers and the Blazers, to pull within 2 games of 500.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I'm optimistic for all that. And then there's Saturday, AD didn't play. So you got actually a taste of everything. You got AD dominating. You got AD arguably the best player in the NBA for 2 weeks. And then you got AD sitting out on Saturday. So you got a little bit of what makes you so excited about him and then also what worries you about Anthony Davis. This is an interesting stretch because Bron played on Friday.
Yep.
Not a good game. 9 turnovers on Friday. Talked about post-game, my timing, my this, my that. Saturday comes back, 39 points, 11 rebounds, hit 7 threes.
Mm-hmm.
What we're hoping for, Trav, is at what point this season, and hopefully it's coming up, that it's back. That
For
there's
LeBron, you're talking about?
That there's a combination of the two. It's going to be different than it was 2 years ago because I don't need to see Bron fire 10 threes a game. I don't need to see Bron. I don't like seeing Bron take more shots.
Hopefully he won't have to.
I don't like seeing Bron take more shots than Anthony Davis either. So can there come a point where it's starting to look like it did a couple years ago, but more importantly, in my opinion, AD is the dominant player, and LeBron James is kind of the complement rather than the opposite.
That's the plan. Here's the fear that I have for LeBron specifically. What you just described, I think there's a better than average chance that that's what we're going to get from here on out with LeBron James. Inconsistent play. Because of his age, because of where he is in his 20th season, that this is normal. What he's let me retract that. It's not normal. That he's still as good as he is at 20 years in is incredibly abnormal. It's so atypical. But you're seeing it more. First of all, he gets hurt far more often than he ever has before.
Yeah.
And even when he does play, there are more clunkers in there than there have been before. It's early in the season. He's nursing. I get it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if this is kind of what you get from him. Not that they're terrible performances, but you'll get the one where he had 38 and we knocked down 7 threes, and then you'll have another one where there was a bunch of turnovers and he couldn't make a shot. I think you're going to get a lot more games like that from him. That's why AD needs to be that guy that gives you the same thing every single night. It's more LeBron starting to wane at this point in his career is expected. Probably should have happened a long time ago. AD needs to elevate his game and keep it there regardless of what LeBron's bringing.
I wonder kind of what's the thought process in the front office right now. Let me give you an example. The Lakers got the Pacers tonight. I've heard Miles Turner's name and Buddy Hield's name as if they've been on the roster for 6 months. Right?
At least.
Those names have come up so often over the last X amount of months or whatever the case is. Remember how they were saying, hey, nothing's going to happen. Woj had put out this tweet.
Thanksgiving was kind of the deadline,
like, hey, that
right?
Thanksgiving. And then that got pushed out. And it's like, I think Chris Haynes had put out, no, December 15th when every player is now available.
Right.
Now they'll kind of wait for that date.
It's 2 weeks away.
But they've got closer to at least making it more interesting. If through 20 games they were 5-15, I don't think there's much of a conversation of, well, why are you doing anything?
Yeah.
Now, listen, they lose these next two. They're 7-13 through 20, so that won't make all that much sense. They got a tough road trip that's coming up. They're putting themselves in a position where I'm not telling you they're going to go compete for a championship. I'm not telling you that they're a move away from competing for a championship. But the team looks better. They look better than they did to start the season, and that's promising.
I can't wait for the next couple of weeks because they're going to play against a lot better teams. And I swear I'm not throwing cold water on 5 out of 6. I'm the one that said to you a minute ago, they're hot for the first time in who knows how long. But it has been the Pistons and it has been the
Spurs.
San Antonio Spurs.
Yes.
It's been those teams.
Fair.
But let's see what it looks, because if you can be a team that wins as often as it doesn't with what you have right now, then the idea of a deal is far more interesting to me. Now, you got to weigh that against what it may cost you.
Sure.
You got to weigh it against what the high side of whatever the best version of that team could be. But when they were on a pace to go win 25 games, it's like, don't do anything. Just let this thing expire. Just keep those picks and move on from there. It's a little bit different now because they can beat some people.
Maybe the term, which Emily had mentioned this, that desperate term that we were talking about a couple weeks ago, maybe they're not as desperate. That doesn't mean, like, I want to go back to this.
And you can deal from a position of relative strength.
Russ has been better off the bench. There's a role. There's this, there's that. We'll see how things shake out.
Real quick, how surprised are you how well that's gone? Russell Westbrook with that second group. It's been really, really good. He's been as good as could have been expected.
Let me tell you this. I remember before he even went to the bench, there was some conversation that we were having, and John was here, and John was saying, look, for his own career, you have to prove to the NBA that, hey, I can adjust a little bit. I am surprised. I didn't think it would go like this. I didn't think And he hasn't been perfect. He hasn't been great. There's some games that you're still watching. You're saying, Russ, what are you doing?
Of course.
All that is going to be there. But it's better than I thought it would go. It's been quiet.
Yes, and that it's not all that. It's not every night like, dude, come on, man. There are as many good ones as there are
and
that, which is
about
it's a huge improvement.
Just talking about him less, I think, sometimes is a good thing.
Anthony Davis has been upgraded to probable for tonight's game against Indiana, so we might get to see a pretty good basketball game.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to have to retell your tire story again because that was pretty awesome.
Minding my own business.
And that you're here and in one piece makes me even like the story more. It's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win $1 million.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Hey, buy what you want, Jack. But on this Cyber Monday, I'm going to give you a little tip that's not going to cost you anything. Have you downloaded the all-new ESPNLA app yet? Just search ESPNLA in your App Store or Google Play. It literally costs nothing and brings so much enjoyment. Download, tap, bam! You got Travis and Sliwa in the palm of your hand. All the podcasts. Listen live with just one tap. It's all right there. Get the new ESPNLA app to celebrate Cyber Monday. Right now, we celebrate with more Travis and Sliwa on 710.
Unsolicited promotion from the apps league. One of my aunts who lives out of the area, doesn't live in Southern California, she lives up north in the Bay Area. She said that she put the app on her phone so she can listen to her favorite nephew every day. And she's like, it's great. I just turn it on, hit the button, and there you are. It's terrific.
Did she say at the end, bam? That'd have been great.
Aunt Carol left the BAM out of it.
Come on, Aunt Carol.
She did. It was nice to see her. It was nice. It was a nice Thanksgiving holiday. Really enjoyed it a great deal.
All right, can you kind of walk me through, you said about 15 people?
20.
Okay, 20 people.
Yeah.
What's your game? What do you do during this is at your parents' house.
Yep.
I'm sure you're trying to roll up your sleeves and help where you can.
Try.
I already know about the one turkey's done. Don't worry, I got another one in the back. Like it was, I don't even know how to explain it. It sounded like a black market, like drug deal.
Because I think my dad could see the look on my face like, where's the leftover turkey? Like, we got a second turkey.
So you got a second turkey in the back. Kind of walk me through, how'd you do food-wise?
So I think this may have been a first for me. I think for the first time in my life, I didn't overdo it. And now I got it in.
Yeah.
I had plenty. I
overdid it.
I had one very significant portion of food the first time through. I didn't go back again. I stopped at the one trip. Now, there were, I don't know.
Did you get one of the big,
it was like a TV tray covered in food. It wasn't quite like that, but it was a lot. Now, I did overdo it on the desserts, right? And that's typically not my deal.
That's not you.
But there were like 7 or 8 different things. My dad made me a cake for my birthday, a coconut cake, which I love. I had a piece of that the size of a car battery. And then I had several other pieces of pie. It was great. Had a lot of wine. Had a couple of cocktails along the way. It was a terrific meal.
Okay. Dinner ends.
Uh-huh.
I have some curiosity in this one because you and I have had some conversations about everybody's participation at the end.
Yeah.
How was everybody's participation at the end on this wonderful Thanksgiving at your parents' house? Everybody helping out?
I mean, most.
We hitting 80% of our threes?
Oh yeah, no more than that. We're like Steph at the free throw line. We're shooting 93, 94%. Yeah,
but that means
this is not going to end well for me. I'd like to eject.
This is 6 or 7% of the free throws missed.
Yeah,
it's not coming from your family.
Well, I'd really rather not.
Let's just say positive.
There were some
coconut cake.
There were some situations where it felt like not everybody was pulling on the same end of the rope. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
So you have a team. You have a roster. Okay. Put the roster together.
There's a Russell Westbrook element in the group. Okay?
Do they know? Like, do they know?
I don't know. I try not to think about it. I just put my head down.
You know,
and
some
do
people
some
just
wine
don't
glasses.
know. Like, they're completely oblivious to what is happening.
I don't know.
I think it's got to be more towards that.
It could be.
But you're the only one that cares as much as everybody.
I think that's probably. No. There's one other person that cares as much as I do, which I will not name, so I'm going to leave that to your imagination. But it's not my wife. It's not one of my family members. Yeah. We had a wonderful time.
Even that much of the story, I appreciate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just one of those things like looking at really?
Especially Thanksgiving, too.
We're going to do.
This is a time to be thankful.
To be thankful for the people that do a lot of stuff for you. Anyway.
Are both of your families that do so we're going to go around the circle and say what we're thankful for this year?
No, we did. I wouldn't mind that. I'd be okay with that along the way.
Hell no.
20 people,
Our
though.
family
You'd
does
be there an
not
hour
do
and a
that.
half.
No, my family usually does it. Didn't do this year because of, obviously, my issues. But typically, it's like a 25, 30-person thing, and they go around slowly and say what we're thankful for. What are you guys thankful for?
Who goes the longest? Allen Robinson's deal is voidable after year 2. I don't even know if that's
Ellen?
true.
I wonder if you would have said that.
I would have said something like that.
While I would have said, I'm thankful for the 5 out of the last 6 games that the Lakers have won. Thankful for that.
Are you, Travis, thankful that the Panthers didn't take the Rams up on that Brian Burns offer?
Oh, my gosh, that would have been a catastrophe. Yeah, I'm thankful that the Fernando documentary is in heavy rotation.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I'm thankful for. Had a great time.
I always, whenever that happens, like you just described, that definitely does not happen at the Sliwa household. I don't know if that's like a Middle Eastern thing. I don't know what it is.
So when Susan's dad was alive, we used to do a little bit of that. We used to do a little bit of that on her side. We got to see Susan's mom and her aunt and uncle. That was nice. We did that on Saturday, which was Saturday. Had a nice little lunch over there with that whole crew. It was great. I had a good weekend, Slee.
If tomorrow or if today, because I told you I had Thanksgiving, I had that food on Thursday. I had that food on Friday. I had that food on Saturday.
And then you bought it.
But a small portion on Saturday, not really much. And then Sunday it was right back at it as if Thanksgiving is
at Whole Foods.
I would do it again. If you told me today, hey, I have some Thanksgiving leftovers, let's eat, I'd get right back into
no,
it.
if you rolled out a plate with cranberries and stuffing and turkey, I would be all over it.
Look,
right
we were
now.
talking
Took
about
a day
this.
off yesterday.
We talked about this on Wednesday when Beto was in. The cranberry thing, just
Not
we
for
don't
you?
I don't think we know what to do with it. You know, when people
You ready?
say
Super easy. You ready?
yeah. And I don't like the canned one.
It's not a can. Got to buy a bag of fresh cranberries.
Okay.
Put them in a pot.
Yeah, this is
Okay?
this is his world.
Sprinkle them with a lid because they're super tart. Like they're almost inedible without a little bit of sugar in there. So put a little sugar in there. Squeeze an orange. Get the orange juice in there. Let it bubble until they all pop. Done.
Also,
we have to find something for him that he can give advice on certain things.
It's that
He's
easy.
gotta give
It's super easy. Taylor, does that not sound good to you?
Sounds perfect. Yeah. Fresh cranberries.
Fresh
All the
cranberries.
way.
You know what else you can do if you want to kind of little Grand Marnier in there too?
Yeah,
Just
here's the problem. There's dolma and there's curry and there's all this other stuff. I don't know
I
where
don't
the
know if that
cranberry
fits
goes.
in your menu.
I don't know where it
if that's
goes.
there. Yeah,
they'd push it to the sideline. They would think, and I would too, it's for dessert.
it's like a jam almost,
Yeah.
right? And I only eat it on Thanksgiving and Christmas. And the rest of the year, I'm like, I don't need to have that ever again. But on those 2 days, it's really, really good.
They're good on leftover turkey sandwiches
Yes,
to add a little
correct.
bit of sweetness. Also, another way to work cranberry in, if you don't want to have the cranberry sauce, is to do a cranberry mimosa. When you're watching football, when you're getting the whole dinner ready together, cranberry mimosa, perfect.
It's all new for me. It's all new.
I discovered it's an old cocktail, but new to me. That is, you ever had a French 75? You ever had that?
I have.
Oh
It's
my God.
really good.
They're terrific. I'd never had one before. I saw one go by. I'm like, what's that? And they said, it's French 75. What's in that? Gin, champagne, and lemon. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to need one of those like right now.
Perfectly on brand, and you can ask Funches next time you see him. He brought up a conversation with us on Wednesday
Henny?
he said, hey, is it wrong to bring Hennessy to the party wherever he's going? And I think what he was trying to get at is he goes hard to the hoop when there's Hennessy, and it immediately made me think, Funches, you took Hennessy on your honeymoon, you're sitting beachside, and you have a full glass of Hennessy. You could take, if you do that there in Cancun, you could do that anywhere.
It's no bad way to have a good time. Whether it's in Cancun or at Thanksgiving or any other point that he's on Hennessy, that's his deal. That's his jam. That's how he does it.
All right, during this holiday season, ESPNLA and Subaru are partnering with the Folds of Honor Foundation for our inaugural Long Drive-a-thon event. Proceeds raised will provide scholarships to families of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Event is taking place on Friday, December 9th at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. If you'd like to participate and purchase a green fee, go to blackgoldgolf.com. That's blackgoldgolf.com. Love, it's what makes Subaru Subaru.
All right, we got the dump coming up next, Lee. Plus, I'm going to need you to talk about the your voyage on
trying to get
Thursday,
down to SD.
Friday, and the fact that you are still without a vehicle. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710.
710 ESPN is giving you a chance to win $1 million.
$1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
Listen every Monday during football season to Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, and Sedano and Cap. All you have to do is make a super prediction.
And you can win a mill.
And you can score tickets to a game at SoFi for just playing on $1 Million Mondays.
$1 Million Mondays.
710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
All right, so we don't do this very often, but I want to get to the dump coming here in a minute. But take me through what happened to you on the way to San Diego the second time in 2 days.
All right, I'll do a quicker version here. So
no, please, step by step. I enjoyed it a great deal.
Drove down Thanksgiving morning, down to SD, celebrate Thanksgiving down there, down to El Cajon, and then left around 4:30 p.m. So left like 8:15 in the morning, head down there, have Thanksgiving lunch at my
Did
my
Lady
parents'
Sliwa
house.
with you?
She came with me down there.
Okay.
And then drove back up around 4:30 to go to Hacienda Heights.
So
where
you're
her
rolling
parents
there
are.
around 6:15?
7-ish.
Okay.
7-ish.
Okay.
Hit some traffic, nothing crazy.
Double Thanksgiving.
Double Thanksgiving.
It's a long day.
And you'd have thought I hadn't eaten anything. I got up there and I'm like, no,
Can I just give you a little radio dap up? I've done that double dip multiple. It's a long day. Good job by you.
It would have been fine if my mom actually did it earlier on purpose. She did it at noon because she knows other families are going to go somewhere else. But if you're going
good job by Mom.
15 minutes away from where the original one is, that's different, not driving all the way back up to LA.
Right.
So I had to come back Friday morning, back down to San Diego, back down to El Cajon. I had some stuff to take care of, blah, blah, blah. So I'm back on the road at 8:15, 8:30 in the morning, and I'm driving down. Enjoying my drive down, having a cup of coffee. I don't know why I drive like this. At the 10 and the 2. Sitting there driving, taking my time. Car to my right, one of those motorhomes, just a big vehicle. It's to my right, and then to its right, I don't know why I see, maybe because it's up forward a little bit, it's just another regular small car. I'm all the way at the left lane. Only thing next to me is the double white, and you got the carpool.
Okay.
I ain't going anywhere.
Right.
Right here on my lane. I see both those cars kind of swerve for a quick second. And I have no idea what they're swerving for. Have no idea what they're trying to avoid. But
By the way, if somebody's swerving in a camper, you know that it's something you
something's
want
going
to miss.
on.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, what the hell are these guys doing? So I kind of swerve a little to my left, too, just because they're coming a little bit closer to my lane. Tire. Full tire. The whole thing.
The wheel, not just the tire, the whole wheel.
The whole wheel.
Yikes.
Just on the 5 in Irvine. I don't know what its exit is. I don't know if it has ways. I don't know what it's doing, but it's got a mind of its own. Comes and just hits the right side of the passenger side of the vehicle. Takes out, obviously the light. The front bumper, forget about it. Cords hanging everywhere. Hits the right side and then just kind of bounces off and goes along where the carpool lane is. There was no other cars and the divider there. It just all happened so quick. I'm like, what the hell just happened? You asked me earlier, was your heart, pounding?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, because I didn't know what the hell just happened. It all
You didn't
happened.
see it coming. It just was there. You hit it, and then it was over.
I think the other cars just avoided it.
Okay.
And they just set up this perfect path to hit my car. Right? Like they
created a run.
A lane.
They opened a hole like a good offensive line.
Exactly what it was. It was a good back just finding a hole, hits my car, and then goes off. And I just kept driving. I had to get down to SD, so I'm like, all right, I don't really.
You didn't think in the moment, I should probably pull over and see how much damage that caused.
I thought about it for about 45 minutes. But I didn't do it because I'm like, all right, the further I'm going here, I'm not having to turn or anything. Nothing's really happening.
No lights are on, no warning lights.
Nothing yet is happening. So I get all the way down that rest stop, right, before Camp Pendleton before Oceanside, whatever it is. And I pull over there, and I get out the rest stop, and as I'm turning to park into one of the parking spots, if I turn right, I don't think I hear anything. But I turn left, and when I turn left, you would have thought it was a recycling center, and you're just listening to all the noises out there. I eventually used the restroom. I assessed the damage, realized I have no idea what any of this damage
so what's
means.
The bumper smashed, the headlight is
Bumper
smashed.
done, headlight done.
Is the hood okay?
Hood, just because I took it to a body shop, they're going to say it's not, but I think it's okay. They're going to do what they do, right? They're going to say, "Yeah, well, that's that's
your
damage."
suspension okay?
Yes,
okay,
think so. But
by the way, credit to me for knowing two parts of the car.
But
Ayo.
cords hang, wires hanging
from what, the light?
From the light,
okay,
and sensors and whatever else is back there. So then I decided, okay, sounds good. Looks like we assessed the situation. Why don't we drive for another 45 minutes to get to La Mesa,
Just got
California.
back in the car and went for it.
Got back. And I'm going to go, let me emphasize this. As long as I'm going straight, I was good. Just slow down a little bit on a couple turns just to make sure that everything's fine. And before you know it, was filed a claim with State Farm Insurance.
When did you get it to the body shop?
I was there by 11 a.m.
Okay.
So there was no hiccups here. I'm on the phone, figure out the body shop, then figure out, call State Farm, file the whole claim. All that got done, and when I pulled in, I was on the phone with Enterprise, and they were coming to pick me up. It was as if it was like all coordinated 2 days earlier.
So when do you get your car back?
No idea. No idea. None.
Travis is elated.
Okay, can I?
Elated.
Can I also say?
Wouldn't that not be the first question that you ask? Like, hey, when do I get this car back?
They said we can't look at it till Monday.
Of course, holiday, sure.
Right, and there were other cars in there.
Supply chain.
Okay,
holidays.
So leave that to the side. Would you have done this when I got the rental car? I drive for maybe 10 minutes, and a light comes on, malfunction, this, and it's putting up these lights that I have to go look at the owner's manual to go see what the heck is the deal. I'm like, I'm not going back there. So I'm just dismissing whatever is on there, and I just kept driving. I'm like,
it's not my car.
It's a 2021 Altima that I'm renting.
I respect hey, not my problem.
You guys figure it out.
But the problem is you could have got halfway home and the thing stops. Now you're stuck a second time in a few hours.
Take another rental car. It's Enterprise's problem.
You're just going to have like this breadcrumb trail, only it's going to be vehicles between Pasadena and San Diego.
How about the way they start with, okay, hey, this is your coverage. It's X amount of dollars per day. That gets you that car. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it's a tin can.
This big. For $5 more per day, get you that car. I'm like, all right, it's a little bit bigger.
Keep going.
For $10 more, gets you that car. I'm like, all right, well, that I look at least a little bit more respectful in. I'll take the $10 damage a day.
Yeah, okay.
They got me on that.
Well, it depends. If
it's
you keep it for a couple weeks, yeah, you're going to owe a couple of $100 on top of it.
Be an Enterprise in a week going with a small car.
Give me the small car. Give me the Ford Fiesta. Give me
smart car.
Yeah, the smart car. Exactly right. Got the lawnmower engine in the back, and you're ready to go. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad that story happened and no one got hurt.
How was the second round story?
It's great.
It was good?
It was great. I loved everything about it.
Good.
I like the fact that your rental is potentially going to blow up on you, too. That makes it exciting.
Every light you could think of was coming on. It was like Christmas lights.
Not my car. Yeah. Dismiss.
You guys should figure that out.
You should absolutely do that. It is Randy Newman's 78th birthday today. I believe he's an Academy Award winner. And, of course, he did this. No matter what else, this is the anthem for L.A. Has been since it's come out like 84, 85, something like that. I remember it being part of the Showtime Lakers. This is iconic. Dodger Stadium everywhere.
When that comes on at Crypto, Lakers got a W.
Yeah. Well, every time you win a game, right? Yeah. Anywhere in here. Throw it on, and it's a good way to do it. Tiger Woods is not going to play in this week's Hero World Challenge. He's got a foot injury. He still intends to participate in the match in the PNC Championship. Is it weird that I'm curious whether or not his son Charlie will still get to play because I really want to watch the kid play. He swings just like the old man. He seems to love it. So I'll be his +1 if he needs somebody to go play with because I want to see Charlie play.
Will you watch?
If Charlie plays, I'll watch.
Yeah.
The rest of it's kind of a hit and giggle thing.
He's close with Justin Thomas. I guess he could play with Justin Thomas, who doesn't have any kids.
There you go.
Justin Thomas normally plays in that thing with his dad.
Yeah.
So you could do it that way, but my guess is Charlie's out.
Probably, right? You need, but his sister probably plays, right? Just put the two kids out there, something. Need some Charlie.
I think you need a pro. I think in order to compete, you need a pro.
Charlie's not a pro, but he's pretty darn good.
One day. Yeah, one day will be.
Not too bad to do it. Let's do a little Super Crosstalk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Sliwa?
Super Crosstalk begin. It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Woo, 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 woo. I was waiting to hear it from Mace. Mace is on Comrex today. Ireland is here in the house with us. How was your Thanksgiving, fellas?
Well, I was in San Antonio, so it was not all that it could be cracked up to be. That's for sure.
Did you enjoy Riverwalk Thanksgiving or something like that?
None of the above. Just I did get out and play golf with Austin Reeves, who missed a hole-in-one by 1 inch.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's never had one, but he missed it by 1 inch. Not kidding.
Did you guys leave? Did you guys leave San Antonio on Saturday after the game?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. We were there. We flew in on Thanksgiving Day. We were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Do you celebrate Thanksgiving with the team? Like how does that go? Do you get some turkeys?
We had they did a dinner for all the broadcasting.
Okay.
So that was fun, and that was nice for the Lakers to do. So I ate with Michael and Stu and Billy Mack and Trudell and all those guys. So that was fun. But I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I probably have like 25 times. Somebody at the league office hates the Lakers because we were kneecapped this year out of Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. We're on the road for all 5. So, and that's never happened before.
Any idea who
No, but
somebody?
I've always thought that there's a Laker tax. I'll give you guys another example. They just announced the NBA Players of the Week. Okay. And the NBA Western Conference Player of the Week is DeAndre Ayton. On Wednesday of the week in which Ayton won the award,
oh my God,
Anthony Davis went 37, 21, 5 blocks, 5 steals against
DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
For the week, AD was 30 points, 18 rebounds, 67%. Ayton was like 24 points, 15, like less in every category. Yet there's a Laker tax.
That makes no sense.
They want to give the Lakers nothing. I don't know if it's because we have an agent for a GM or it's because we're the Lakers or whatever, but that's it.
Slee pushed back on me a little bit when I said that the Lakers were hot. 5 out of 6. I didn't say they're good, but 5 out of 6 is hot, right?
Well, you know, there's a difference between hot and good.
Sure, of course there is.
You use the right word. They're
yeah,
hot.
They're hot.
And it's easier to get hot when the other team is bad, and that's been the case.
Well, and here's the funny thing. Listen, the Lakers starting the season out 2-10
yeah,
and getting a chance. If they beat the Pacers and the Blazers, I want to talk ahead of myself. You'd be 9-11. You'd be 25% through the season, and you're actually close to 500. That's unbelievable. So I don't want to take anything away from them, but it was just funny to hear you describe it that way. I was like, oh, well, that threw me off a little bit.
It is what it is. You win 5 out of 6, you're hot. Mace, are you there?
Yes, I am here, checking in.
There you go.
Checking in.
How was
sibilance? Check.
How was your holiday, Mace?
I'll be honest. It was not the greatest of holidays.
Well, you've been sick, right?
I came down with a case of this, RSV that has been going around. So
What does RSV stand for? The R is respiratory, right?
Yeah.
What's the SV?
Really sucks.
Sucks very much.
I'm guessing
very
the V
much,
is
something
virus.
like that. Yeah,
Yes.
the V is virus.
S?
Really sucks virus. I don't know.
There it could be.
Respiratory something or other. So I was in bed for a lot of the time. Didn't get to go see Mom and not stepdad Leo out in the desert because I didn't want to bring sick home to them and all that kind of stuff. But I got to watch a lot of games. I was excited by the SC game on Saturday night. They looked fantastic. I wish I had been there because it looked like the Coliseum was rocking for the first time really this year.
It looked like it used to look. It looked like it looked when they were competing for national championships, when they were competing to get into the college football playoff. It's not looked like that for a really long time.
I was thinking about something in terms of executive moves in the history of Los Angeles, okay? When USC named Carol Folt president and Mike Bone athletic director, for a good year and a half, everyone hated those two.
Yep.
Even the SC people hated them. I heard from, I live on a street that's like 90% SC alums. I grew up in Newport Beach, which is the #1 feeder city to USC. Everybody I heard from, Carol Folt doesn't get it. Mike Bone is incompetent. That's the word you heard more than anything else to describe those two, is incompetent. And in one move, they pay Lincoln Riley $100 million. I have not heard the name Carol Folt or Mike Bone since that day.
And that's, by the way, the way it should be.
Right.
You shouldn't have to know the name of your university president or even the AD in order to go and root for your team. The thing that they were handicapped by or hamstrung by is the fact that they had all this outstanding litigation and all kinds of stuff, so they didn't focus on the football program. Because they couldn't focus on the football program, that's why Clay Helton had to hang around for a couple of years. And ultimately, when they did make that announcement, it was out of the blue.
Yep.
There were no rumors. I didn't see any college football reporters say, well, they're talking.
Well, quite frankly,
I'll take it a step further. I live 2 doors down from Bruce Feldman, who's the best college football reporter in the country. Bruce didn't hear about it until the morning they announced it. Yeah. In other words, like, he got tipped at like 10 in the morning, and they announced it at 1 o'clock. He's normally weeks ahead of that stuff.
It wasn't, quite honestly, it felt like the opportunities that SC had to hire the guy were maybe a thing of the past. Because you when you see the candidates that they were always bringing up, it felt like you were either looking for an up-and-coming guy or a guy who was kind of middle of the road, another Pac-12 guy, that they were able to go pick one of the best coaches in the country out of another prestigious program. It's not like Luke Fickell at Cincinnati, where obviously he's going to take an upgrade at some point. Maybe it's Wisconsin, but he had one of those programs. Oklahoma is one of those programs, and they basically said whatever it takes. And we all know the package that they put together for him. But not only did they get the right guy, then the right guy went out and got the right guys. That you go out and get Williams, you get Addison, you rebuild that offensive line, you go through everything that they've done. They didn't miss a trick, and that's what SC is. You can get it back like that there, like you can't anywhere else.
It would have been great had Lincoln Riley just taken Mario Williams from Oklahoma and brought him here, which he did. But when he went and got Caleb, and then he went and got Dye, and then he went and got Addison, Mario Williams almost fell into the afterthought pile. It was. I'm trying
it's staggering. The turnaround in 1 year is just. I mean, a year ago we were sitting here saying they were 4-8, and they were irrelevant, and nobody talked about USC, and they were boring and dull and all that stuff.
Gave up 65 points to UCLA.
Got shellacked by UCLA, and to sit here now, a year later, I mean, what he has done is he's raised the program from the dead. I mean, but I think you're right, Brian or Travis. The ingredients were always there for this thing to turn around. It is USC. It is all of the resources that USC has got. It is a name brand in college football, and that's why I think at the end of the day, as long as they win, and I don't know what the playoff system is going to say tomorrow night, but as long as they win. Yeah. On Friday, they're in the playoffs.
All right, that's I'm gonna throw this at you, Trav. It's not even. Just look a couple weeks ago. Even a couple weeks ago, the conversation was, I didn't think they were going to win all 3 of these. I didn't think UCLA, Notre Dame, and they still got to obviously win on Friday. But even a couple weeks ago, the conversation was still not, you're going to get in the college football championship. It was, hey, put some respect. See what happens. Even if they're in the Rose Bowl, what a great accomplishment. They're a win away from getting in. Caleb Williams probably locked up the Heisman Trophy award. That the fact that they're now 1 away from making all that happen his first year.
So I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Al and I were talking about this earlier. Short of an absolute disastrous Friday night, like a 4 or 5 interception game, and they get housed by Utah, is there anything he can do to not win the Heisman Trophy at this point? It feels like he put, with the performance against UCLA in front of the entire country, with the performance against Notre Dame in front of the entire country, it feels like it is his trophy at this point, short of an absolute disaster on Friday.
Completely agree with that. And, in fact, I think the second guy in the Heisman Trophy odds is C.J. Stroud, who had a terrible game against Michigan.
And doesn't have any more games.
No,
so he can't shake it off.
Yeah, and I think that Heisman Trophies are won late in the year. Heisman Trophies are won in marquee games that everybody is watching, like that SC Notre Dame game. That's when you actually.
Hey, that UCLA game was nationally televised.
Sure.
And that was too, right. And this next one, although it's a Friday, it'll be nationally televised, but it's again against they're still ranked, right? Oregon's still ranked, right?
Well, they play Utah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Utah's still ranked.
Yeah, not only are they ranked, Mace, I think they're like 12th or 13th. They're highly ranked.
And the best news is he can avenge his one loss, in which he had a good game the first time. It was the defense's fault.
You guys like it that they got Utah instead of Oregon? Because Oregon felt as crazy as their coach is going for it on 4th down every single time.
He's got 2 L's
on Saturday
himself.
But that was a team that's got a really good quarterback that can make a bunch of plays, that can score a bunch of points. This feels like potentially a better matchup for them.
I like it for the sake of closure. In other words, they did lose to Utah. Winning now would actually send a message that, we lost by a point on the road, but we're really a lot better than that. So I think there's sort of a cherry on top is beating Utah in the championship game.
So, John or Mace, you have RSV and you're in bed, you're watching games on TV. That's a bad Thanksgiving holiday. But did you hear Emily's saga that she had over the weekend?
What now with this girl? What?
Emily, would you like to tell it or would you like me to do it?
Well, I noticed, Em, you're wearing a mask. Does that have something to do with this story?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm tested negative, so
Okay.
don't worry about that. But I was feeling poor last Sunday, and that's the day I was supposed to fly out. So I thought, okay, maybe I'm just tired. I'd been up late the last 2 nights, so I'm just gonna push through it, get to South Carolina. So got to South Carolina, worked. It was an overnight, so I got there on Monday morning. Worked the show. I was barely conscious while working the show, and then afterwards I went right to bed. So then Tuesday I got a COVID test and I tested positive.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Your first COVID test when you tested negative, was that a home test?
Negative now.
Oh,
yeah.
Were any of these home tests?
No, they're all from
'Cause
CVS.
I think you guys know that I tested positive for COVID 2 weeks ago, and I took a home test on a Tuesday, and I was negative, but I still felt lousy. So Wednesday, I went to the doctor, and he goes, "Well, let me just test you. I know you got tested yesterday, but let me just test you because you're here." And that's when it was positive. I don't trust those home tests.
Yeah, they feel
the home tests are hit and miss. There are a lot of false negatives and a lot of false positives.
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
Maybe
by
you
the
do,
way,
maybe
so what's
you
the
don't.
point of taking the test, really?
Right.
She's not done yet, by the way. She's just
Okay.
getting
Oh,
started.
Okay, just get warmed up.
All right, so go ahead. I interrupted
So,
you.
then-
so now you test positive on Tuesday.
Yes, the elderly have not arrived at the house yet, which is good. But
Okay.
my family that I stayed at, the place I stayed at, has 2 master bedrooms. So I set up in the one master bedroom, and my aunt and uncle in the other one. And I have a little balcony where my family can sit on the ground and socialize with me from the balcony. And then
no.
I
She's
have
Rapunzeled up in the upper balcony.
Exactly. And then I had an old TV in there, and this TV is the oldest TV I've seen in years. It's
Black and white?
Not black and white, but it has a VHS player and a DVD player still.
Love
so
it.
it's attached to it. And so
Just so you understand, a VHS to her is like black and white for you and me.
Yeah, right. True.
right. And so then I feel crappy, left South Carolina on Friday, wore masks and stuff on the plane. And then I got back here, and my car was parked at Amanda's because she lives right next to the airport. And I try to get into my car, and the car is locked but will not open. I have a fob that's like a remote control, will not open. I try a bunch of things. And so then I also try the hidden key in my fob. There's no ridges in it, so it does not open my car. So then I Uber back home. Again, this is after a long
And you still have COVID.
I still have COVID at this point. And so then on Saturday morning, I wake up, go to AutoZone, get a new battery for my fob. Doesn't really work. And
that
then
didn't solve the problem.
Didn't solve the problem.
Okay.
Uber to my car. I have to call AAA. They unlock my car, and they jump my car, and my battery is essentially dead. So I'm going to have to get my battery replaced. This battery is less than a year old. So I'm just, it was a very rough week for Emily.
So Mace,
Sounds rough.
you had RSV, but you didn't have to fly across the country twice with it, and then
Correct.
get back to LAX and have a dead
And
battery.
just your car's not working.
Yeah,
Just your car.
and then you wrecked your car, Slee? Is that the other thing?
I didn't wreck my car. There was a tire
Is
traveling
your car
on the...
drivable?
Currently, it's at a body shop.
Yeah. Then you
Maybe
wrecked
I
your
did
car.
wreck my car.
Sounds like 3 of the 4 of us had less than optimal Thanksgiving.
And then
Trav,
John
you're
had
the
to
big
spend,
winner.
I had a
John
wonderful
to spend
time.
Thanksgiving in San Antonio.
Yeah,
a
it was-
tire traveling on the 5 just
Well,
in
at
Irvine.
least Travis had a good
Yeah, I got to
Thanksgiving.
spend time with friends and family, and had a nice meal, and
And he
traveled
keeps
safely.
asking, and he keeps asking for these stories to be repeated. He's just wants to embrace
Well,
them.
Trav,
and enjoy
if you
them
want
more.
to, you can go with me on Thursday and do all the garden spots on this next trip.
Where you headed?
Milwaukee, Cleveland, D.C., all of them.
Ooh, DC is not so bad, right?
Well, it's except that we leave for Toronto immediately after the
Oh,
game
you
and
don't
play
get-
there the next night.
so you're in and out,
and
yeah.
have to go through customs in the middle of all that. I think if you're going to pick a game that the Lakers might struggle, pick the Toronto game.
Okay.
Because we're going to get in about 5 in the morning. But yeah, this is the cold weather December nightmare trip. And I heard you guys talking about the Lakers. I think this 6-game trip, will let us know if this previous 6 games is for real.
Come back 3-3.
Yeah, I would take 3-3 right now.
Yeah,
2-4 with the teams that you're playing too would feel it's weird. Where they started was a disaster.
Yeah,
got a little bit better, and now for the last 6 games, even the game they lost, they played reasonably well against a good team.
Game.
They were in the game. So look, like you said, Al, you get to the quarter pole of the season, and you're near 500. That's a huge success considering how they started. Because I understand the beginning of the season, you said 500 through 20 games. Yeah, whatever. But what were they? 2-8?
2-10.
2-10.
Yeah.
2-10 to get to 500 at that point, or close to it. That's a huge win.
Yeah, but I think like Mason already has declared that they are not going to be in the postseason, that they're out, and I think most Laker fans feel that way after the 2-10 start. I've said all along I thought they were going to be around 500 after 20 games. Because of the schedule.
Even with the 2-10 start.
Yeah, I think that now, though, this 6-game trip is going to be hard.
You think that it's more or less
December
likely
is brutal.
or the same that they make a deal considering that they've gotten a little bit of mo?
I think they'll do something. I don't know what they'll do, but I think they'll do something. Rob almost always does something every year. So I don't know what it is, but
I'm more interested in it now than I was 2 weeks ago because then it just seemed like you're shuffling deck chairs at that point. But
yeah, now it's not like just straight losing. Now there's reasons. There are actually reasons for optimism. I mean, Westbrook's been great off the bench, and Anthony Davis is playing like a guy we haven't seen in a while.
Apparently not the player of the week.
No, not good enough to be the player of the week.
Not enough to top DeAndre Ayton.
Refresh my memory. Who's the guy that hit Russ in the head and split him open?
Zach Collins.
Zach Collins got very lucky that LeBron was there. That could have gone a different way.
Well, or you could say that a different way. Russ got very lucky that LeBron was there.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Because if Russ goes. You know what, on Zach Collins' face, then Patrick Beverly has company in the penalty box.
Well, when you get that amount of blood too, you think, okay, this is about to get real. LeBron has saved the day on multiple occasions. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you guys again. Mason and Ireland coming up next. We'll see you tomorrow.
Wake up with Key, J. Will, and Max.